Or below there, we're looking at an annual growth of about 500 members. For member deposits, we're looking at an active membership contribution of at least 3,500 monthly. Loans and advances, we're looking at a growth of 1.5 times the deposits held. Total income, 59% growth in 2025. For expenditure, 64% growth in 2025, and surplus 42% growth in the year 2025. Following extensive deliberations, the budget was unanimously approved by the members. The proposer for the budget was Daniel Mwaniki, member number 6034, and the seconder was Jared Onyuna, member number 3377. There were some queries following that. The first coming from member Eli Kimeli, member number 3306, and the question was, what is the capex of Kenya shillings 2.6 million? And the response is that this was the ICT budget for the year 2025 to enable the Sacco digitize its services while ensuring cybersecurity threats are mitigated and to upgrade its ERP system as the current one will be phased out in March 2026. The CEO provided a further breakdown of the makeup of the 2.6 million as follows. The table there. So there were two servers. There was AWAF is it's a security component. There was the app and USSD code. There was the online application process. There were licenses we needed to pay, and there was a system upgrade. All of it comprising of 2.6. Item number 11 or minute 11 was the auditor appointment. And the secretary reported that Mwangi and Kamwara Associates had been appointed as external auditor for the year 2024, 2025, and 2026 during the special general meeting held on Saturday, 21st September 2024. There was therefore no agenda for appointment of the auditors during this AGM, and members noted the appointment. Then we moved to the elections in minute number 12. The secretary read the notice indicating the directors retiring by rotation, after which she handed over to the ministry official, Madam Diko Mohammed, who oversaw the election process, and the below individuals were nominated to serve in the board, that is the managing committee. Number 1, Stella Gasheri was retiring by rotation and offered herself for re-election. The proposer was Naomi Lutukai, member number 1373, and the seconder was Fred Okode, member number 3054. Philip Omondi, retiring by rotation and offered himself for re-election. The proposer was Stephen Busolo, member number 4077, and the seconder was Wesley Korir, member number 7087. The third one was Alex Gitau Mwikamba, who retired and was not seeking re-election. The fourth was Jerusha Igombo, member number 1025, who offered herself for election for the first time. And the proposer was Christine Maloba, member number 3064, and the seconder Joel Ngigi, member number 5044. The candidates were elected unanimously after presenting themselves and producing their manifesto at what they were going to do for the Sacco. Members also note we have an election policy and we have a committee that vets all members offering themselves up for election. The supervisory committee, number 1 was Jonathan Malusi, who was retiring and was not seeking re-election, and Brenda Kangara, who was offering herself up for election for the first time. The proposer for Brenda was Elizabeth Chepkorir, member number 9072, and the seconder was Daniel Mwaniki, member number 6034. Member number 6069, Charles Chege, asked Brenda to justify why she was a suitable candidate for the election to the supervisory committee, and Brenda provided her manifesto as follows: with her proven record in financial analysis, leadership skills, business development, marketing, and customer delivery skills, and financial management, she was going to ensure she was able to ensure she controls how the Sacco operates and how things are being handled as per the regulators' requirements. After this presentation, members voted unanimously for Brenda to serve on the supervisory committee. Any other business? Having been no other business presented to the secretary 48 hours before the meeting, there was no other business. Vote of thanks to Ms. Diko Mohammed. She thanked members for honoring we also thanked the members for honoring the invite and attending the AGM in large numbers. We thank the virtual members and the chairman for steering the board in collaboration with the entire board. We thanked United Kenya Club for the good service and the secretariat led by the CEO and the Education and Governance Committee. Jerusha and Brenda thanked members for voting them in, and they committed to serve the Sacco with diligence. There being no other business, the meeting closed at 7:08 p.m. The minutes are signed by the board chair and the Honorable Secretary. Thank you.
So we shall need a proposer and a seconder. Where is the other mic? Secretariat, maybe, okay. We need a proposer and a seconder for those minutes. There's one here. You tell us your member number plus your name, please.
Jared Ashuma Akala, member number 7059.
Thank you, Akala. Seconder for that. Maybe, I don't know how many people are online. Maybe we can involve them. I'm hoping they are following. 15, Maybe you can, nani ako hapo tuone kama anatusikiza. Maybe on the floor we can also get okay, a proposal on the ground. A second on the ground. Thank you.
Second, member number 6034, Daniel Moniki.
Okay, thank you, Daniel, for that. Can we get reactions? Any matters arising from those minutes? Silence means we okay. Yeah, I think by that, that is closed. We need to go to the next agenda for the day. And the next agenda for the day is chairman's report. So I welcome Mr. Peter Mogeni to come and make his remarks.
Fellow board members, ministry officials present, all protocols observed, distinguished members, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Good afternoon once again. Kule nyuma mnanisikia? Good. All right. As is customary, I think it's important that you know the people that we lead together with. So I would invite all board members, I think, to move so that they can see you and introduce yourselves. We will start. I know there's a supervisory board on that side, but you can start from there if the microphone allows.
Good afternoon, members. My name is Wilson Mwale, member supervisory committee. Thank you.
Good afternoon, members. My name is Fiona Ondu, chair supervisory.
Good afternoon. Professor Omondi, member credit committee.
Good afternoon, members. My name is Jerusha Gombo, member education committee.
Good afternoon once again. My name is Silvanas Masika. I chair the education committee. Karibuni.
Good afternoon, members. My name is Mark Kinyoro, treasurer. Yes, the chairman is reminding me that I'm CPA Mark Kinyoro. You are treasurer. Thank you.
Good afternoon, members. My name is Stella Mutai. I serve vice chairperson, as well as the secretary credit committee. Happy to serve you.
Good afternoon, members, once again. My name is Frida Mcharo, Honorable Secretary and Secretary of the Finance Committee.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon once more. God is good and all the time. Wow, thank you. My name is Nicholas Naftali Njoroge, but I usually use Naftali Njoroge. But all of them are my names. Karibuni.
CEO, I'll invite you to take the floor, introduce your team, and then submit your report, and I'll do mine after yours. Thank you. You can sit.
Once more, before I start say anything, I'll call the team because I'm the quote unquote the pilot, but the pilot does not work alone. You know, a plane has to be flown by so many people. So I'll call the team. Team Nyumba, kindly come, and the support team, kindly all of you come.
Hebu nieleze kwa sauti ya upole, akili zangu zikuelewe. Rudia kama vile pamto.
Scovia, we're waiting for you. Francis, Felix, Nancy. Just let's give them 1 minute so that you know the team. You can come here in front so that people can see you. So I'll give the first gentleman to introduce himself and what he does for the Sacco.
Good afternoon. Afternoon once again. My name is Nicholas Kisilu, the accountant.
Good afternoon. My name is Dorcas Gashoki. I'm the front office officer and the social media officer. Also, I take care of your social media pages. I wanted to cast the code so that you can all scan and follow our social media platforms. Thank you.
Good afternoon, members. My name is Emily Kabuthia, the Credit and Collection Officer. You're welcome.
Hello. My name is Francis Oundo. I'm a Business Development Officer.
There are two others, there are two DSRs, Felix Wafula and Scovia, remember the second name, Odongo. And then we have a support staff in terms of hospitality, it's called Nancy. Thank you. That's the team, that's Team Nyumba. Thank you, team. Hiyo makofi nimekataa. Hata mkupigia chairman makofi mzuri na hiyo team yake. Where is Silvanus? Tunafanyanga 5 factorials. At least upatie chairman before I talk. Let's rub our hands. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tumekula. Bana. Let's rub our Good, thank you. I'll read my speech. I won't read it verbatim because basically we shared. I'll just go and touch like the pain points. Basically, all protocols observed. As the report is presented today, this number represent more than just the outline of the performance, the demonstration of our commitment to deliver more and need for achievement of a mission and purpose of fulfillment of the big vision, the pillar of wealth. I believe all of us, we know that's the motto of the Sacco, the pillar of wealth. Are we aware about it? Thank you, good. We can go about the environment that we're operating in because definitely we are not operating in isolation. We are operating in an environment. Am I saying the truth? Yes. So the Kenyan economic environment continue to experience slowed down growth in the year 2025 due to the effects of heavy taxation, leading to reduced tax home net salaries, impacting negatively on savings. Were we heavily taxed? In the year 2026, there's a projection that the economy will register a growth within the range of 5.2 to 5.5, supported by continued recovery of business activity. The key downside to this growth shall be persistent high debt burden, potential global economic headwinds, and domestic political uncertainties. I'm sure we are all in line to what is happening to the economy. I've already introduced the staff. We can go to the other line. We can go to the core business. I've just taken how the business, this is what has brought us together. So I'll talk about members. I'll do a comparison between 2024 and 2025. In 2024, we recruited only 59 members, but you look in 2025, you can see the jump to 207 members. And then in terms of our asset, it grew by 5.83%. This is 282.2 million in 2024 to 298.7 million. For sure, this year will be over 300 million. Si ni ukweli? Si hesabu inaoneshana? So our loan book for this year, our loan book didn't dive. We grew by a small margin, but it's basically bado a growth. From 115.7.9 million in 2024 to 118.5 million in 2025. Our deposit growth book grew by 9.2 from 159.59 million to 9.9 million in 2024 to 174.6 million in 2025. If you notice, that tells you we have more depositors than who? Borrowers. And the Sacco model is supposed to be the multiplier effect. Basically, our deposit book should be our loan book because of the multiplier effect. So that tells patronage of our products is very low. Many people are depositing with us looking for a return. Financial assets grew by 20.2 million. What I mean by financial assets, this is money that was there. We decided with the board that definitely we have to invest it somewhere so that it earns a return for the Sacco. And you can see, somebody expanded it, I can't see. Sylvanus? Okay. You can see we moved from 100.4 million in 2024 to what? 131.6 million in 2025. That basically means that there were no people. This money tulipatia serikali. This money should be with members here. Should be with the members here so that it catapult you to the next level, not to the government. We have a standing policy within the Sacco that no money should lie idle. We usually have like a sweeping. Anything in the account, we sweep it to invest it. But the purpose of the Sacco, I'm sure all of us we know, is loans. That's the reason of the purpose of the Sacco, loans. Total interest income grew by 2.98% from 29.8 million in 2024 to 30.6 million in 2025. Total expenses grew by 25.5% from 11.2 million in 2024 to 14.14 million in 2025. People might ask, why has expenses grown? I'm sure all of us, we have seen we are now entering in a more robust regulatory framework. This Sacco is regulated. And you see these deposits I've talked about. Do you know we are charged a levy by the regulator for them? And it's a quote-unquote an expense to us. Like this year, they're going to charge us 0.14% of the deposits we are going to have at the end of December. We can come to surplus. Surplus before tax grew by 5.14% from 7 million in 2024 to 7.4 in 2025. Interest payouts grew from 11.1 million in 2024 to 12.2 million in 2025. While dividend payouts are slightly declined from 3.73 million in 2024 to 3.6 million in 2025. Honoraria was a slight moved from 1.51 million to 1.52, a small increase. And then this is something that I'm happy to share. We are able to collect, see when we talk about delinquency and ratio, this is money that is outside that has been not being paid. So last year we closed at 10.24, but we are able to reach at 6.08. The regulatory requirement is 5. I can assure the members here, definitely this year will be hitting at 5. And then additionally, because of that collection, we are able to save the Sacco and plow money back to the kitty that we are going to divide to the members. We plowed back 1.2 million to that kitty. I think that's a plus. I expected a makofi hapo, lakini sijasikia. Thank you. Now, this one, I think I've talked about it. Our loan uptake is still low, and we hereby urge members from the 14 loan products to patronage up to 3 different loan products subject to affordability to ensure the growth of interest income. The core business of the Sacco be savings and giving affordable loans. Honorable members, let us heed the call for a saving culture and a better our future and for the coming generation. We reiterate that the Sacco is offering its loan products on a reducing balance, making our loans more affordable and more competitive in the market. We remind borrowing members they need to save regularly, borrow wisely, and repay promptly to ensure rapid growth of the Sacco. By the way, this is a constant thing that I keep on putting in my report because that's our core business. You save, you borrow, you give to Sylvanas, the other one like that, the Sacco. So 2026 outlook, I've put it as small, simple, and straightforward, but it's very sweet. And it has a lot of context in it. It might look like one line, but what is behind it's a lot. 2026 outlook and beyond, our focus will be a Sacco which will be fully digitized from end to end. Member onboarding, loan processing, disbursement. This will ensure a robust performance by the Sacco in all areas of operations. I'm sure members here, I believe when the Honorable Secretary asked about the web portal, now you can access your statement. You don't need to call the office to download. We are going better and better. So we're also going to move to the part of the loan because this year I can tell you we want to upgrade our system. We have heard about that there's whether we like it or not, we have to upgrade our system because the software we're using, it's not been supported by Microsoft. So you have to upgrade it. And during that upgrade, that's when we want to put these enhancements. You can go to the next level. The last part, Emily. And in conclusion, we continue to welcome and thank members who have continuously engaged us for the betterment of the Sacco in terms of new and different and fresh ideas and approaches. There's one thing that I advocate a lot and I keep on saying, the Sacco is owned by the members. We are just the backbone. The management and the board, we are just the backbone and the owners. Ideally, a good scenario should be the members, you are sitting on the high table as you are sitting that side because you are the owners. Because today you are going to make a lot of decisions. Yeah. So members support and patronage of the Sacco products and services is crucial for the growth of the Sacco. We thank you most sincerely, honorable members, for giving us a chance to serve you and choosing Nyumba Sacco as your Sacco of choice, and for believing in the Sacco board and management to manage your resources. Thank you, board staff, cooperative officer, auditor, SASRA, and everyone else who has made Nyumba Sacco what it is today. God blessings and amen. Thank you, team, for listening.
I think, CEO, thank you for your speech and for your remarks. But the club, I think people didn't listen earlier when you were telling them how to clap. Let me show them a slightly different way of how to clap. So I want you to keep rubbing your hands. One, two, three. All right. Thank you, Bwana CEO. I think you did capture quite a lot of what I was going to talk about. But fellow members, allow me first of all to apologize that we are holding this AGM on the 11th of April, which is quite late. We ordinarily normally want to finish this in the third week of March. That has been informed by a lot of regulatory and legislative changes. And the team that is now responsible for submission of financials and approval of financials is quite a long process. And what I notice is that the capacity is not as much, but they have to review all these things for more than 400 cooperatives. So it's taken a bit of time to get the financials approved, but I'm glad that we are here and we are able to hold these very important governance meetings. CEO did mention that the Sacco belongs to you. So this is a supreme body. And so I'm very glad to see the turnout. Please keep showing up, give ideas, challenge some of the things that we are talking about. And obviously make your expectations known. Despite the decline in economic growth, I think the one thing for me that was important last year in the macro environment was some stability. Particularly, interest rates began to come down across the banking sector. Short-term interest rates for government securities came down also. Inflation remained contained within the central bank benchmark. They have a benchmark where inflation should not go below 2.5 and on the higher side should not go above 7.5. When it's above 7.5, the economy is overheating. When it's below 2.5, you're almost getting into a recession. So last year, we operated on average at about 4.5, which was a good. Sometimes we don't give government and treasury mandarins a lot of compliments, but actually, if you look at other countries, they did reasonably well. That was also reflected in what they call the Purchasing Managers Index. Typically, all procurement officers in major manufacturing concerns, industrial sector, are usually asked whether they are going to buy more or buy less in the course of a year, and they are asked why. And as at November last year, more than 50% of them said that they were optimistic that things would get better, and it was the highest PMI index we had seen in 4 years. So it was a good outcome. I don't think we can say the same now. Yeah, so it's been an interesting dynamic, particularly taking into account the US-Iran war. This normally our import bill, the country's import bill, over 30% of it is fuel. So there's mixed messaging around, do we have enough stocks of fuel or not? Today I was hearing some petrol stations are running out, they are stockouts. But you can see countries such as Ireland are having problems with fuel. So if this thing continues, then we will have a problem. Luckily, there's a 2-week ceasefire. And last night, the US Vice President arrived in Pakistan. So we hope they agree and they stop throwing bombs at each other. Because when it happens there, it affects us here. And we don't want that. As a Sacco, we kept our rates constant. We didn't increase interest rates, and at an average of 12% relative to bank loans. Although rates in the banking sector came down, the average lending rate according to CBK as at end of December was 15% per annum. Ours was 12. If you are borrowing against your own deposits, it's 11, and the highest is 15 if you are taking an asset finance. So we encourage members to continue taking advantage of these rates. And the comment that was made by Madam Secretary around last year, we had a guest speaker. And the guest speaker talked to us about the benefits of being a Sacco member. And he said that it's not really about the return. I know that we are expecting a dividend at the end, and it's important. But how you benefit from a Sacco is being able to borrow 3 times, in some instances 4 times, for some products 10 times your members, your own shares or member funds, and using that, generate or do something of value so that you generate income that can sustain you into the future. Remember that picture he showed us about how people retire elsewhere and how they retire on this part of the world? So when I spoke to him later, what he was saying is make a plan and say, at the end of my working journey, I need to have something that gives me at least 50% of the income I was getting when I was employed. Then ukiongeza ka pension, you will be able to live. You can afford to travel. You can afford to take care of your medical bills, and you can afford to still take care of black tax because up here haiendangi anywhere. We have to still help. So I really implore upon members to utilize. I think there's twice as many savers as we have borrowers, and our projections. And I was surprised that question wasn't asked. Our projection was that we will do 1.5 times the deposits that we have in terms of lending. SASRA is consistently asking us why we have more money in treasury instruments and why we're not lending this money to members. And most Saccos operate on a loan to deposit ratio that's more than 100%. That's the only way in which we can consistently guarantee higher returns, because if we lend 1.5 times, on that particular amount, we are earning on average 12, 13%. Then your deposits, the deposits that you have given us, together with some of the borrowings we have made, we can then pay a higher return. But if we lend less than the deposits and our interest rates are only 12, and you still expect a return, but out of the 12, we need to take out the operating expenses, and we need to take care of the governance expenses, then the maximum we can ever pay is 7-8%. So we don't want to do that, but we can't lend to people outside the Sacco. That's the law. The law does not allow us to lend to people other than non-members. So it's only members who can support their own ambition to get higher returns. CEO, when you were introducing your team, you forgot to mention that Francis Adriano Undo joined as a senior officer in the course of the year. I think he's the only one that joined that members haven't been able to meet. So we welcome him, and we also have a lot of expectations on him. Part of our strategic plan that you saw CEO and Secretary talk about is emphasis on member recruitment. So we're expecting to have more members come on board, particularly younger members. I know there's a challenge because CEO said to me that some of our younger colleagues, they associate Sacco with the money market fund. They think you put in the money and then when you want it, you just take it out. And that's why I even recorded that video where I was saying that that sort of saving is good, but it's also very risky. See, in a Sacco, the money is there. So hata mtu akikuitisha si haiko, even if they cry, it's not there. You can only get it 60 days later, by which time they should have solved their problem anyway. But when you put money in an investment where it's easy to just go and withdraw, a lot of times it's very difficult to sustain the savings over a longer period of time. So both models work, but I personally encourage the Sacco one. And I've been a cooperator for 23 years now. All right. Happy to see some reversal in our loan book, but obviously asking for more. And in the budget process, we've restated our ambition. We want to grow much faster, because to me, a 4% growth, which was less than inflation, was not good enough. But there were some products that were revamped. Last year, during the education day, we heard about the asset finance products. Please sell it to other people that are willing to come and join us. It's a very competitive product, but you can also benefit from it. We lend against government securities. We also lend against third-party collateral. So you may not have the collateral yourself, but maybe your mom, your dad, your spouse has some title that can enable you to do something and still enjoy the relatively lower interest rate. So I'll keep reiterating that point. CEO talked about the alternative investments that we made. However, last year we had warned about the risk of declining interest rates, and it actually materialized. So if you look at our previous year's financials, we were able to grow investment income by 21% year on year between 2023 and 2024. Our income on government securities went up 21%, and it cushioned the reduction in interest income on loan book. Last year, they all grew at the same pace. Loan book 3%, investment income 3%. So that shows you that the bonds that we were investing in were of a much lower yield. And I can tell you that as we head into an election year, government is very keen that interest rates are low. So don't quote me, but I know that for every auction, they're actually making sure they shave off at least 50 basis points. How they do it, Silvanus, kuna uji? We can chat over uji. But I can tell you that there is going to be a sustained reduction in yields, and therefore we need to lend this money so that we make more. We did manage, in spite of all that, to deliver some surplus. There was something about the expenses which I wanted to preempt. Last year we made a decision because we hire all our staff on contract, and we typically give them a 3-year contract. So what happens is, in the event that they leave at the end of the contract or in the middle of the contract, we pay them a gratuity. So what we used to do is we would just pay when they leave. Of course, we don't want them to leave, so we want to keep them around. And if we then do not accrue for that gratuity, then we would be sitting on a one-off expense every time an employee leaves. So we decided to start accruing for some gratuity. But we more or less offset that by lower governance expenses. I'm happy that the board, we did very few necessary meetings only. So the ones that we could cover via email, we just exchanged emails, and we didn't earn an allowance for that. So you will see that in the previous year, relative to this last year, we had lower governance expenses. So treasurer will come and present the resolution on disposal of surplus. But one of the things I can announce for free is that if you approve it today, you'll get the money today. Okay? If you approve it today, you'll get the money today. If you don't approve it today, we will just wait and see what happens. We had last year, again, one of the things that the keynote speaker spoke to us about was something called the power of compounding. The power of compounding means that the interest income you earn, if you leave it within, and the next year's interest is interest on that interest, over time you grow your amount, your money. And I think he did emphasize that. He was saying, how many people are going to withdraw their money? And there were quite a number, but we are hoping you can compound. We don't have a problem with liquidity. Like I said, we have more deposits that we need, so we will pay. But if you wish to earn more money, you can actually keep it there. So on behalf of the entire board, I would like to thank you members for your continued trust, encouragement, and support. I would also like to greatly appreciate the support from the staff. Last year they did without a salary increment the whole year, so we didn't increase their pay, but they still stuck around. So it's a good show of commitment to the Sacco, and we have also received a lot of support and guidance from the Ministry of Cooperatives as well as SASRA. Last year they invited some of our team members to go and just understand what their processes look like. What does it mean to file their returns? So we appreciate that. I just want to bring to your attention that there's a new Sacco bill that is being debated in Parliament today. It's going through public participation. Some of the highlights of that bill, which we need to prepare for, regulation and more regulation. I think government really loves regulation. But it was coming. Initially, SACCOs were all managed under the Societies Act, 486 of the laws of Kenya. Then in 2018, there's new regulations that came on board that distinguished between deposit-taking SACCOs and non-deposit-taking SACCOs, the FOSAs. Then in 2020, all deposit SACCOs that had members' funds over 100 million shillings, or they were operating completely digitally, needed to come under regulations under SASRA, and that's how we ended up being regulated ourselves. There's been benefits, but there's also been other issues, costs of compliance. There's a lot of that that is involved. And then Cusco happened. So now after Cusco, there's a new law that is being debated today. What does it seek to address? They talk about structural fragility. They say SACCOs are good, but we are too fragmented, and all of us operate in our own individual cocoons. Some SACCOs have weak governance, and there's an absence of a system-wide liquidity framework. So in the banking sector, you borrow from each other. SACCOs don't have that mechanism. But also, there's a shift towards what they are calling a federated cooperative structure that is more regulated than what Cusco was. And whilst then SACCOs are expected to retain their member-owned identity, there's three things that are going to change or proposed to change. One is centralized supervision. So today, only the SACCOs that have 100 million and above and the ones I spoke about are regulated under SASRA. All SACCOs are going to come under regulation of SASRA or a similar body like CBK to enforce supervision, risk management, and then capital adequacy is going to change. So today, core capital requirements for SACCOs are a bit light, but they are going to be more. And we should just prepare, because I know when these guys decide on these things, they'll make them pass. Last year, as you know, banks came under increased capital adequacy requirements, and we moved from capital required of 1 billion to 3 billion by end of last year, to 5 billion by end of this year, to 10 billion by end of 2029. So probably there'll be a graduated scale of a similar nature. And then the other thing around governance is that all board members will require to be vetted, and the vetting will be similar to what happens to vetting bank board members and CEOs. So including NSIS and everything. So you need to go through that. So we are waiting. There was a circular by the Kenya Cooperative Alliance, which pushed back a little bit on some of the recommendations, particularly whilst the bill proposes to reduce fragmentation. There are also important questions around inclusivity and the preservations of community-based institutions, as well as the fact that SACCOs are actually member-owned. So if the members have decided on something, who is this that is saying that they need to do better? There's also concerns that by asking SACCOs to have a central liquidity facility, we'll be asked to contribute money to that facility, and then it's managed by somebody else. So who is going to police the policeman? So we will advise once that becomes law. I know that the CS welcomed those views and challenges, and he asked that a small team be set up. That team will coordinate collection of views. They have between 13th of April and 19th, 5 days, and 18th of April to submit the views. But after that, I'm sure it will move pretty fast. Thank you very much for your listening to me, for your attendance, for your contributions. And now is the time when we adopt the report and take questions. Thank you.
Right. I think we can appreciate him in a better way. Nataka tufanye ile inaitwa snapping. Unaijua? Hiyo ndio inaitwa snapping. Ama inaitangwa aje hiyo? Sawa. So tutaifanya in what we call a 5 factorial way, yeah? Tunaanza huko chini, huko juu tukishuka. Right? So in count of 1, 2, 3 we start. Karibu mnipoteze. Thank you, Chair, for that. So we shall need a proposer and a seconder. Maybe you can circulate at the mic. By just show of your hand, we need, you can tell us your name plus your member number. A proposer. Maybe you need to confirm from the online guys if they are following. So I think there's a proposer here. So tell us your name and number, please.
Veronica Mwaniki, 3102.
You propose,
I
eh?
propose.
Thank you. A seconder. Seconder, please, so that we can have reactions on that particular report. You can just raise your hand, please. Or we get someone from online. Maybe you can tell me one of the participants. I see whether I can.
Hello.
Okay. Sam, proceed.
Samson Geshia, member 1751. I second.
Thank you, Sam, for that. Sorry, I think I'd not seen you. So can we have reactions? Okay, Kisilu, this one here.
Jared Akala, member 7059. You have talked about the new regulations of Saccos that are in parliament. I don't know if this one was passed or not yet passed about the Saccos having members in zone. Are you aware of that? Saccos having members in zoning Saccos.
I think he's talking about the delegate system. Yeah, so that is well noted, Mr. Kala. Any more reactions on the floor? So, Mary Kimemia, you can confirm you can hear us. You can unmute and maybe say hi. Or even a show of your hand so that we can confirm if all is well. But we are still taking reactions from the floor. Ripoti imeeleweka? This okay.
Habari zenu nyote. I'm Kamau Juguna, member number 3526. 3526. Niko na issue moja tu ningependa kuulizia sana kuhusu loans. Like with the new members, unless we come with the people who know us, it is taking too long for us to interact. So if we can have more team building events, because you realize you meet a face and you know them, but during the time you are looking for a loan, you take only the self-guarantee loan because you don't have someone to guarantee you. But also there is something new I have heard, the collateral issue. This information required to be supplied more to us, like the collateral thing and all that. So that, me, I am at a team of drivers, online business drivers. Actually, that is our name. And most of us, we are coming and we are like stuck. Hatuwezi chukua kaloni ya pili. Although we have the potential to pay, we require some of these things that the old members embrace us too. We were thinking of having a sticker of members who are in our team, we have a Nyumba Sacco sticker so that when you request an Uber, you see the Uber driver is a member of your Sacco, you might interact more and maybe be afraid, introduce him to your colleague or your friend so that you can guarantee us until we are growing. I believe we are part of the landslide registration of new members, the 200 and something. I believe we take a better portion of that. So as the BOG chair from online business drivers, consider us, even if it's having that sticker, give us more assignments. We can have some arrangement for your transport services, even at your workplace. Have our platform so that we can have more opportunities to interact, we know one another, so that when we are in Nyumba Sacco, you will grow us as we also grow the Sacco. Thank you.
Thank you sana Mwaniki. Yes. Oh, Kamau Juguna. Okay, so sorry for the omission. So let's get more reactions. Backbenchers, mnaona mbele? We still have some more seats eh? Unaweza tu kuja ndo at least tukue place moja kindly eh?
Thank you. First of all, Jared, thank you very much for your question and your whether we are aware about zoning of the proposed zoning. It's actually one of the most controversial issues in that bill, and there's a school of thought that says that there are people who are more informed and therefore are the ones that should participate in the AGMs and elections and all that. And there's another school of thought that says SACCOs have always operated on the principle of one member, one vote. One member, one vote. So by taking in the delegate system, we then typically can lead to disenfranchisement of some members. So it's one of the issues that the Kenya Cooperative Alliance has actually pushed back. And if you look at what they communicate, it's a very strong reference point to that model has served SACCOs very well. Let us not take it away. But we'll see how the final bill will look like. Kamau Njuguna, I want to take a very special moment to welcome you and your colleagues. Please feel safe, feel at home. We at Nyumba Sacco, we welcome new members, and we are very happy to support you to settle in. I like your idea about a sticker. I'm sure CEO you are listening. Very happy to support that fully. I would be very proud myself to ride in that. I joined this Sacco in 2003. I feel very proud being associated with it and seeing other members come on board. I think the idea around more team building events and side events, I'll leave that to the CEO. He can organize some forum events. He also needs to organize a forum where even as the leadership, we can engage more directly and see what your unique needs are. And then we solve for those, even as we get you to integrate fully. But take the opportunity to hang around after the formal agenda. We will be talking more. Thank you. I know that the next event was the supervisory committee, but allow me to just, with all due respect, invite my sister, Monique. I was a member of Nyumba. We have a sister cooperative called Nyumba Housing. I was a member of Nyumba Housing myself. I'm still a member, I believe. And they are the ones that sold to us the current office space we have. The one at Applewood. It was actually their space. And she wanted to take 5 minutes, just talk to us a little bit about Nyumba Housing and what they are doing now. And then there were also questions for Nyumba housing in the last AGM. I don't know whether the lady is around, but if there's one or two, we can take those and then we can carry on with the agenda. Karibu.
Good afternoon. As you've heard, my name is Monique Mkayagi. I think still is the chair of Nyumba Housing. I always have to think twice. For me, first and foremost, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the chair and also the current CEO for allowing me to come this afternoon. It's been long overdue. I'd like also to ask for your apologies, those of you who are Nyumba members. Those who, if you can recall, it's been a while since we met. And the reason why we have not met for a long time, one, we were making losses. We tried different ways of reviving Nyumba. For some reason, it didn't work. And the last meeting we had, we agree we need to close Nyumba because it was just making losses and members were not happy with the loss making. Yes, Nyumba, because it could be Nyumba Sacco. Need to differentiate. Thank you for that. Nyumba housing. I've been following up with officials. It has taken very long, but eventually somebody, I just went and told them, these are the facts. And they told me, you know what we can do? But this is not official. It was one of the officials, but a not official communication. They told me, Monique, the best way to close Nyumba is to Nyumba housing. But okay, you know why I'm here. The best way to close Nyumba housing is to just call members, agree to close, and refund whatever there is. But we have a big, I don't think it's a big challenge. We only have one challenge. And they told me why we need to go that direction. Because if we go the so-called official direction, it mean we'll be put under receivership. If we are put under receivership, the little we'll have will be taken by the people who come. So the only challenge I would say we have is our properties. Those who know why we existed, our goal was, in fact, I still remember with passion, one of my goals and the team members then is that every one of us would own a house. So we would buy property and we'll try to look for property at cheap places where members would afford. And eventually our goal was to members to own a house. But it proved a little challenging for some of us. So we thought, how else can we make money? So we thought, why don't we buy an office which we can rent out and make income so that members can benefit? So we went and bought the office that's Applewood. But clearly it was still not working. So then we were, we were sisters, or is it brothers or sister and brother? We approached Nyumba Sacco. Now it's correct. We requested them to buy off that office from us because we didn't have funds to maintain the loan, and they graciously agreed. And that's why we sold off the office. Otherwise, today would be having an asset. But I'm proud to say at least what our asset went to our brother or to our sister. So my request, even as you have many questions, I know there's a gentleman I've always told him, keep at it. He's called, I don't know if he's here, Chengo, Mr. Chengo. I tell him, Mr. Chengo, even if the others have given up, don't give up. Keep calling me to find out what's happening. Yeah, what progress are we making? And even last week he called me. And I told him I'll be here today. I'm surprised he's not here. But what I'm just asking us to do is if we can get buyers, we have 5 properties. In fact, I have copies of the title. We have 5 properties in KBC, those who have properties in KBC. We have properties on the other side, further down from KBC. We also have other properties, and our properties were commercial properties. So if you have people who can buy those properties, there are 5 of them, the better for us. So that now we can call for a meeting and agree we are calling wherever it is, we distribute to members. And there's only a caveat I'll have to put. Unfortunately, when SASRA came with the new regulations of separation, if you know, we used to have one person handling Nyumba Sacco and Nyumba housing. And somehow, when this person who used to run our records left, unfortunately, some records were deleted. But with the help of our current CEO, he's been very helpful. We've tried to retrieve as much as information as possible. So I know some members come and ask me, Monique, what about the monies we contributed? I'll tell you how we'll handle that, because some of that information we don't have. But for sure, I know we started contributing these monies, I think, in 2018. And so the records are used to confirm that you actually contributed money is the bank statement. So I just wanted to make that clear. At least the bank statement, and the good thing, the bank statement is with housing, finance, and most of the Nyumba Sacco officials, some of them are still working with housing finance. I'll request for their assistance, but I must commend the current CEO and his team. They've really supported us. And secondly, we don't have finances to employ. I also want to thank the chair and the CEO. They've graciously allowed us to use their staff, which we also don't take for granted. We don't pay them, but we use them to do them small, do I call them small? It's not small, but some work. So I just said, I'll come and give you that information, those of you who are members, and I'd request after the official meeting is over, if you can register. If you are a Nyumba housing member, at the end of this, just register with them. Your name, your ID, your phone number. If you have an email, well and good, but mainly your name, ID, and phone number. So that when we call for a meeting, because this is not our meeting, it's Nyumba Sacco meeting. But one of the things I'm learning in life is that learn to use other people's money, other people's time, other people's experiences, other people's. So I told myself I don't have money to call people for a meeting, but I'll use the Sacco's time. And I'm saying that softly. They are not hearing me, but thank you for allowing me just to come and give you that brief, so that if you have any questions, I take this opportunity to answer them now. But I must also commend my officials. Some of them are here. Some of them got scared and disappeared, resigned. But there are those who said, Monique will hang on with you. The captain never leaves the ship until the last person has been saved. So I said, I'm not leaving this ship. Yeah. If it's going down, but it's not going down, I'm still be there. So I'm open to questions. But once again, thank you for allowing me this opportunity. Asanteni.
Let's appreciate Monique. Wakonye wako na maswali? Angusha. Okay, I think, yeah, okay, proceed.
Jared Akala, number 7059. Sam joined Nyumba Housing when it was started in 2018, registered, and due to unseen or unexplainable circumstances, Now I'm talking about myself on behalf of some. They became dormant. Madam Monique, what do you talk about such people? And they want to come back.
Okay, thank you. Anyone? Okay.
For this opportunity. So welcome the chair of housing. Okay, you are a member there, and as for us, we just registered and we didn't acquire.
Tell us your name and member number, please, for
Daniel.
recording purposes.
Daniel Moniki 6034.
Proceed.
Okay, we registered and we didn't have that time to. We didn't have that opportunity to acquire land, but when time went on, the members who had acquired the land, some of them, like me, I bought from them. And the chair has said they have a property in KBC. Is it all that property that maybe I'm just asking for my own purpose? Because that KBC land, what I understand, it belonged to the members, not to the Nyumba housing.
Is it clear? No, maybe I think you can pardon.
There are some members who owned the land there at KBC, and you have said that you have a member, the land belongs to the Nyumba, the property that is.
Okay. I think that's well entered, sir. It's well noted. Anyone else? Okay, this is the opportunity. Nyumba Housing has said they are taking advantage of the Sacco. So kindly let's take advantage.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Member number 1279. My name is Chelimo Evans. I've been a member of this Sacco for the last 10 years. I've borrowed loans and I've cleared, of course, with a few guarantors. Mine will be two questions, which is more or less debatable from where you sit because all of us are members. And this goes to the supervisory committee, the CEO, the chairman. For us to grow the loan book, looking at, of course, the results that have come out, of course, you've done well, and we've clapped for you. But again,
Evans, allow me to interrupt you. We are talking of Nyumba Housing issues first. Or these are you're trying to take
different.
us.
That's different. It's for Nyumba Sacco, not the house.
Okay. For now we are doing Nyumba Housing. Kindly hold on kidogo. Tukifika hapo utauliza. Kindly.
No problem.
Anyone else? Maybe the online guys, I don't know whether you are following us. Maybe Secretariat, I think you can help me monitor that portal, but I think you can start with those few.
I didn't get your name again. This was Jared. We are all dormant members. If I heard what you're saying, all of us as we speak, we are dormant members. Yeah, because none of us is contributing money, none of us is getting any interest, if anything. And the reason why we are dormant is because we realize we're losing, and we're losing even the little we had at a very high rate. So the time we're losing, one of the things, in fact, I remember even the Sacco official tried to ask us to do, to be contributing 1,000 shillings. Yeah, but that did not work. So for that reason, if you'd like to own a house or a shamba, I'll still direct you back to the Sacco, because now they have asset financing. That's where I'll direct you to. But our goal did not work. And one of the things I'm also learning in life, there's a time for closure. And for us, in fact, it took us too long. Although one of the things I must say, we tried to sell, but because of these properties that we had, that also proved to be a challenge. We're trying to see who else would have bought us, but also that proved to be a challenge. The second question, if I got you right, for each we had two projects, KBC and Malam. So remember, our objective was for members to own houses, and part of the SAC, and so the property was divided, and even the Sacco had some property, registered under the Nyumba housing. So the 5 properties I'm talking about are Nyumba housing property. And our objective then, because we're hoping to have been a gated community, we're hoping that would have been something like a school or a shopping center. You know those things that you'd find in a gated community? That's why we were keeping the properties that we have. So what I'm saying, the 5 properties are not under anybody's name. They are under Nyumba Housing Cooperative Society. So we are the ones selling. So we are told we cannot close until we've disposed of those assets that are under our name. Yes, I hope I've answered you. But there are people who own their property. Yeah. So if, for example, the chair owns property, he's at liberty to sell it to you, because at least what we did, so long as you had fully paid, you got your title. Yes. And I hope we are not holding any titles, are we? No. I think there was a message that was sent, and thank you. Thank you very much, Emily, for your support. Emily really assisted us to get people to collect their titles. So as we speak, we are not holding anybody's title. The only titles we have are those 5 under the name Nyumba Housing Cooperative Society. And those are the ones we are saying, if we can get people to come and buy, please do. I'll direct you. We are still trying to get a good indicator, but we are being told they're ranging between 800,000 to 1 million. But that's a good rate for that area because they are commercial plots. Yes. But if you can bring us cash, we are willing to negotiate. Yes. Because the earlier we do this, the better. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that is well noted and understood. But to note is we always support any queries that come to us with respect to housing. Ukiwa na swali, ofisi ni kule kule Applewood. We shall collate the questions and tutajua venye itafika kwa kina Monique. Right? I think now we can proceed to the next agenda for the day. And as per the program, I think we're supposed to do supervisory committee report. I don't know who is taking that particular report. Okay. Ama tumechoka kidogo, tujichangamshe kidogo. Tunaweza stretch kidogo. Sawa, I need you to give you, maybe I can give you a small game kidogo tu. Tunaweza simama. At least tusimame kidogo. Kila mtu si anajua mosquito. Uko hii Kanairo kweli? So mosquito, which sound does it make? Zamani ni gani? So ukisikia kifanya hivyo, si unaweza fanya nini? Unaweza amua uiue. How do you kill a mosquito? Hivyo, right? Ama waamue ufanye nini? Uifukuze. Okay. How do you fukuza a mosquito? Ama pia unaweza amua uifanye nini? Ushike, uitupandishe chini. Ama pia unaweza amua ikifika chini uifanye nini? Uikanyange. Si tuko pamoja? Tumesema kuwa tunafanya nini? If you want to kill it, you do what? If you want to catch it, you do what? You grab it. Nani anapiga makofi nimesikia? That's my culprit, eh? Utashika. Ama uamue ufanye nini? You stamp on it. Ndio hiyo sasa, eh? So sasa nataka tu hiyo mosquito DJ anafanya. So you just listen to what I'm saying but don't do what I'm doing. Right? Umeelewa? So, rules of the game. Ukikosea tukufanyie nini? We live in a democratic society. Eh? Public participation. Cooperative bill imeenda public participation. So I need members to participate on this game. Tukufanyie nini? Sorry? We do what? No, jioni kuna uji, so in case ukosee hakuna uji. Tuelewane? On sec I think you'll take the names of those people. Ikifika time ya uji tuseme ulikosea, right? Your job is to take those names. So we start. Mosquito, kuja. Kill it. Kill it. Catch it. Najaribu kuangalia wafuasi. Mimi kwanza tumesema you just listen to me but you don't do as I do, eh? So I'm the only one exempted for this. Sindo? We start again. Kill it. Kill it. Stamp on it. Makofi kwa wapi? One culprit hapo. We go. Stamp on it. Stamp on it. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it. Stamp on it. Okay. Korana je, twende na mwisho. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it. Stamp on it. Ndugu nimekuona lakini nimekusamea. I think now because on that I think the chair supervisory committee I think you can take over.
Good afternoon once again. My name is Fiona, as I mentioned earlier. I'm chair supervisory. Under my committee, we have 3 members. Wilson is there as a member. We have our secretary, Brenda Kangara. She could not make it physically, but she's online. Emily, you can confirm that. So as a supervisory team, we would first like to appreciate members for giving us this opportunity to serve you. And we'd also like to appreciate the management and the board members. Management for improving on the issues that have been raised over the past few years, and the board members for helping close on the issues which were raised. So that's a positive remark. I would go straight to our report. Emily? Let me stand here. So in our committee, we have our, I'll do the introduction and mandate. Our mandate is to oversee financial and operational integrity, ensure compliance with the regulatory requirements, provide independent assurance on governments and policy adherence. Then in our findings for the year 2025, we had 5 issues. So one of the issues was the asset finance product review, lack of key operational policies, non-compliance with the statutory investment limits, incomplete asset register information, lack of structured customer service, survey, and feedback mechanisms. So I will go into details into each. Under high risk, we found the product that we have, which is doing actually very good on asset finance. We needed to work on a few things, which is the policy documentation and the actual practice. So here we are saying the asset finance is a high potential product capable of driving growth and strengthening the Sacco's performance. However, there were key issues that were picked, which is misalignment between policy and the actual practice, fragmented and inconsistent policy documentation, and I believe this will be done by the education policy. They are going to work on that so that they are well aligned. So the risks which we face is increased default exposure and potential policy non-compliance. Next. Another finding which was also considered high risk was the lack of compliance with statutory investment limits. So we are saying here the Sacco is non-compliant with the statutory investment limits, and actual exposure is around 132% vis-a-vis the allowed exposure, which is normally 40%. So this is caused by low member uptake of loans, which has resulted to excess liquidity, necessitating the Sacco to invest in other financial instruments like bonds. So members, you really need to take up more loans for us to comply. Next. There is also lack of operational policies. The policies like credit policy is not updated. ICT and finance policies are also not up to date. So key operational policies are outdated and not reviewed regularly. Lack of clear guidance for critical processes, which leads to inconsistent practices and weak controls. So the risks we face, we risk to face as a Sacco are operational inefficiencies, compliance gaps, and weak governance framework. Then under medium risks, we have lack of structured customer service survey and feedback mechanism. This limits the ability to measure service quality and member satisfaction. So there is no formal customer feedback framework in place. Surveys are done and not analyzed. No customer complaint and resolution framework. So the risks here are the poor service improvement, weak decision making, and no follow-up on customer complaints and resolutions. Emily? Another finding under medium risk was incomplete asset register information. This was on the assets that the Sacco have. So the asset register is incomplete and not regularly updated, missing inaccurate key asset details like date of purchase, asset and asset number, limits effective asset tracking and control. So the risks are asset loss or misappropriation, inaccurate financial reporting, e.g. depreciation, audit and accountability challenges might be faced. So under supervisory committee, we recommend and we have recommendations and the action plans. So one, we recommend strengthening risk controls, review asset financing policy, develop and implement missing policies, ensure compliance with the regulatory caps, monitor investments, encourage members to take up more loans, update and maintain complete asset records, introduce structured customer surveys, collect and analyze feedback regularly. So that's our report from supervisory. Thank you.
Let's appreciate Madam Fiona. That's not the best way. Angusha. Tunataka ingine hiyo bado. We want to do it the parliamentarians way, eh? How do they clap in parliament? Good. I can see Jared is on spot on kabisa. So si tufanye hivyo in a count of 1, 2, 3. Good. So let's adopt the report before reaction. So I'll need a proposer and a seconder for that. We need to adopt the report first before it is discussed on the floor. I think, Emily, I'll need someone from online. I think we have really excluded. Oh, they can't unmute. Okay, Emily, I think you need to give them those rights to unmute so that at least we can get a proposal from that. But before Emily sorts that, I think we can get someone on the ground to either propose. Nani ata propose. Okay, I think Jared is there. You need to give us your name plus member number for recording purposes.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Afternoon to you.
I'm Onyuna 3377. Thank you. Proposed.
Thank you. We need a seconder. We need a seconder for that. The supervisory report. I think there is Nicholas here. I think wait.
Veronica Maniki, 3102, second.
Thank you very much. I think now the reporter has been adopted. We can get reactions, if any. Reactions, members, so that at least we can make each and everything clear.
Concerning the recommendations that just for the people, so that I can share, all this I can talk about one each by one. Number one, already we have ring fenced whatever that supervisory. I don't know if maybe I missed. Supervisory talked about what they do. They kind of the third eye. I'm at the watchdog. Yes, our core business is to run business, but their core business is to check if whatever you are running, there's an element of risk or of default. Remember, we moved our default from 10.2 to 6.08. Won't want to go back to there. So we are ring fencing. Number one, we are ring fencing. Ring fencing does not mean that we are going to make things tough, just to ensure that we tighten some places. In terms of policy, this falls under the education committee. The board mandated it to be under there. So what we are doing, we don't live in a we live in an environment which is not static. So I usually say policy is like a living document. So they keep on changing. We need to embrace it. So we are tasked there to review, revamp, and enhance our existing policies. So this falls under it will be done in collaboration with the education committee and the secretariat. In terms of this, I think this one had mentioned it. I think this is not on me, it's on all of us. Because I'm sure all of us, we know we do something member for member campaign. Are we aware about it? By show of hands, kindly. Tunajua member for member campaign? Ala? Seriously. Hata kuna mtu anajua member to member campaign? Let me explain. I'm in shock. But we do this. By the way, do people attend education? There's a question which was there came from Juguna. Juguna, sorry, I can react now. We usually hold, you see, such kind of forums is a supreme organ of the Sacco, but it's a place for him to interact. Ukitoka hapo unajua jina yake na namba yake. Because we live in a, guarantorship is the issue of trust. It's you to network and to get contacts for you to ensure that you're able to, somebody who can guarantee it. Unfortunately, for the side of the Sacco, there's nothing much you can do. Guarantorship is it's a person to person. So such kind of forums enable you to network. Juguna, make sure today utanionyesha watu umejua leo. Phone book yako isikue kama ulikuwa na 200, ikuwe na kitu kama, we are almost 100 here, ikuwe na watu kama 50, 60 more. Back to that question, Education Day, by the way, For those who didn't attend last year, we talked about our 14 products. If you don't know, we have 14 products. And they alluded that it's good that people take at least 3 of the products that we have, subject to affordability. Member-to-member campaign, this was sanctioned back. I think this I'll task to the lady. Where's that lady? That lady is called Dorcas Wangoi Gashoki. We have ensured to onboard Gen Z so that anaweza kurelate very well. I'm sure you have been seeing difference in our social media handles. Tumeona tofauti? Tumeona tofauti? Good. So she's accredited to it, and that thing I'll task her to ensure that that member-to-member campaign continues. We shout about it. What it means, sorry, I bring another member, and then tunarudisha mkono ingine tunakurudishia. Kwa hiyo mkono ingine tunaleta member na mimi nakurudishia 1000 hivi. Kama hivyo wewe. It's for example. So that's what happens. You bring a member, it's a member-to-member campaign, we give you 1,000 shilling. Basically, that's why I keep on saying member is member-owned. If you rely on only us, okay, how many you have seen? Our team is how many? Seriously. Between our team and you, who are many? The members are many. If you bring one member, the Sacco grows. So take it upon yourself as a challenge. You bring a member. Na hiyo ikuangi story. Unaleta member, tunakuwekea kwa account. Is there anyone who has earned here that 1,000 here? Unaona? Na mbona walisema wajui? Unaona kuna watu wanajua. Unaona wajawaambia siri lakini iko. You see people have put their hands. So I'm sure now you have known. So I've talked about that issue, about to encourage members to take more loans. Update complete asset register. I know this is a discussion we talked with the accountant. I'm sure he's on the tail end of updating it. Just put more details. We have one just to, you see, sometimes they say more information is better than enough information. Structured customer survey. I've shown you the lady used task to ensure that it gives feedback. Like after this meeting, for example, you'll see that we'll ask you, how was the food? How was the place? I will ask you, how are the speakers? Where are the areas of improvement? Because that's the only way we learn. We learn by what we have been told. So I've responded to all this, and I can assure you, we continue appreciating the team from supervisory, because I may not see it, but they may see it. You see, my focus is to drive what? Business, yes, but I also drive business ensuring that we protect the depositors' funds. So, usimuona tuko na pesa mingi ya nani? Ya depositors. So thank you. Any, I think I've clarified that. Yeah, thank you.
So I think that is closed, and I think I want to welcome my team. I think Alistas, you will help me in the next agenda for the day. I think we audited financial statements. So come and welcome the next speaker for the day. In fact, you didn't introduce yourself the time the chair was introducing us, so you can start with that.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. As the Chair of Education, Nomination, and Governance. My name is Callistus Wasilwa. I'm a Secretary to Education, Nomination, and Governance. And thank you for coming. If you are proud of your Sacco, give yourself a round of applause. Because today is your day. We don't get to meet until the year comes to a close. So we are happy that you are participating, and we encourage wale wamekaa huko nyuma, please, let's be together, because this is your only chance. You can ask questions, you can interact with the management and the board, the people that takes care of your money. Pesa zenu ziko hapa. So tunaenda kwa mahesabu. Mimi hesabu ilinisumbua, but Mungu naye alisema utafanya tu uko kwa hesabu. Kidogo hivi nikawa banga, ukanichukua niangalie pesa yenu. Sasa tutasema mwalimu wa hesabu wako wapi? Wako wapi? So they say performance thrives in accountability and transparency. So I would like to introduce the chairman of finance and strategy. Nao ndio wa mahesabu. Tuwapigie makofi. We will introduce his team members as he gives us mahesabu. Thank you.
Thank you, Carestas. Good afternoon again, members. For the sake of those that came late after introductions, like Carestas, I know there are several other members. My name was CPA Mark Kenyoro, your treasurer. Yes, hao walimu wa hesabu wanakuanga ma CPA. Kama vile madaktari wanakuanga doctor na mainjinia wanakuanga mainjinia, si ndio? Good. Sasa tuende kwa hesabu. Actually, all these things that we are talking about, kila kitu yote unafanya. Ni nini unahitaji? Si ni kuona hesabu inaandaa report. Yes, because it's what you take home. Like the chairman said, you're expecting to go home with something. Si ndio? Hiyo ndio hesabu yenye umepiga. Ndio hesabu uko hapa. So, as the chairman said, we are, or rather reminded us, we are governed or guided in our operations by the Societies Act. Number 14 of that act guides us on management of financials, bookkeeping, and making of financial statements so that members can be presented with the results financial-wise. CEO was presenting you figure-wise, telling you that we made this number of loans, but tunataka kuona ilileta shilingi ngapi at the end of the day. So that act requires us to, or rather the directors of the Sacco, which we represent here, to ensure that those that are managing the Sacco, the managers of the Sacco, have kept good records for the year. At the end of the year, they prepare financial statements. That is a record of all those transactions, and then present them to the auditors for that. I'm here to confirm that indeed, during the year 2005, we ensured that Naftali and the team have kept books of records. They've recorded all the transactions that were done. And come 31st of December, they prepared the financial statements for the year. After that, we did present that to our auditors who you appointed 1 year ago so that they can have a look at it and they give the opinion as the act required. So I'm here to introduce our auditors, Mwangi and Kamwara. They are represented here by one CPA Anthony. I want to welcome him here to confirm whether what I'm saying is the correct position and then read for you those financials. Thank you. Karibu CPA.
Good afternoon. Once more, my name is Anton Mwendwa, CPA.
mean for Robert Kamara, who is the partner for Mangi and Kamara Associates. And I would like to present the account for the year 2025. And I will start with the statement of comprehensive income. The total interest income was for the period 30.6 million compared to 2024, where we had 29.8 million. Thus comprised of the interest on loans and advances to members. You can see there's a drop from 13.8 million to 12.3 million. This is caused by, despite the increase in the loan issued during the year, this indicates that lots of loans were issued towards the end. That's why you can see the interest on loans and advance to members, there was a slight decrease. We had other operating incomes of 3.3 million compared to previous year, where we had 965,000, and total interest expense of 18.2 million compared to 2024, where we had 17.3 million. The operating expenses in total increased from 11.2 million to 14.1 million. Those included the administrative expenses, the marketing expenses, depreciation, the governance expenses, depreciation expenses. We had a total operating surplus before tax of 7.4 million compared to previous year, where we had 7.04 million. An increase in tax expense from 437 million, not million, but thousand, to 836,000. The increase is due to the other income you can see in the books of 18.3 million. So those were the net surplus for the year after tax was 6.5 million compared to 2024, where we had 6.6 million, and there was a transfer to reserves, and the transfer to reserves of 1.3 million, 1.31 million compared to 2024. We had 1.32 million, and the proposed dividend on shares of 8%. Current period it is 3.69 million compared to 2024, where we had 3.7 million. The proposed on Ralia is 1.5 million compared. There was no increase because in 2024 we had 1.5 million same. So I'd like now to take you through the statement of financial position. The total assets increased from 282 million compared, that is in 2024, and in 2025 the total assets rose to 298 million. That comprised of the cash and cash equivalent of 16.2 million, the receivable and prepayments of 14.9 million in 2025, the financial assets of 131 million, the loan and advances to members of 112 million, property and equipment of 2.9 million, intangible assets 65,000, the leasehold property of 18.4 million, and the tax recoverable of 1.9 million. In the liability, you can see there was a increase of trade payables from 4.5 million to 6.4 million. The member deposits and savings, there was an increase from 159.9 million to 174.6 million. Borrowing, there was none because the remaining loan was paid up. Proposed dividend on share capital, is 3.6 million, compared to previous year where we had 3.7 million. The proposed interest on deposit is 12.2 million, a slight increase from 2024 where we had 11.1 million. Proposed on Ralia is 1.55 million compared to 2024 where we had 1.51 million. The equity for the period was 100 million compared to previous year where we had 97.6 million, a slight increase in the share capital from 45.5 million to 46.1 million. Retained earning increased from 28.01 million to 28.27 million. Statutory reserve increased from 23 million to 25 million. And the revaluation reserve, there was an increase of 331,000 to 544,000. That's bringing the total equity and liability for the year to 298 million compared to 2024, where we had 282 million. So from there, I would like now to read the audit report. On page 6. Okay, I will take you through four sections of the audit report: the opinion, the key audit matter, the responsibility of director for the financial statement, and the report on other legal and regulatory requirements. For the opinion, we have audited the financial statement of Nyumba regulated and with Sacco, set out on page 8 to 41, which comprises of the statement of financial position as at 31st December 2025, the statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, the statement of change in equity, the statement of cash flow for the year then ended, and the notes to the financial statement including a summary of significant accounting policies. In our opinion, the accompanying financial statement give a true and fair view of the society's financial position as at 31st December 2025, and of its financial performance and cash flow for the year, then ended in accordance with the International Financial Reporting Standard and Sacco Society Act number 14 of 2008. The key audit matters are those matters that in our professional judgment were of most significance in audit of the financial statement of the current period. These matters were addressed in the context of a audit of the financial statements as a whole and informing of our opinion thereof. And we do not provide a separate opinion on these matters. Key audit matter number 1, the society, the credits and impairment of loans and advance to members. The society determines the provision for impairment of loans as per Sacco Societies Act for purposes of calculation of impairment. Loans and advances to members are classified as performing, watch, substandard, doubtful, and are loss on loans as set out on note 15 to the financial statement. How we addressed the matter, we reviewed the loan application policy and the loan agreement terms. We also classified the loans for compliance with the classification policy. We performed a credit assessment of the sampled loans based on materiality levels. On the loans, we also checked the reasonability of collateral and guarantors. And for the key audit number 2, provision of uncertain taxes, the directors are required to exercise significant judgment when determining the appropriate amount to provide in respect of potential tax exposures relating to challenges by tax authorities. We are focused in the area because of inherent judgment required in estimating the amount of provision required. We obtain a detailed understanding of Sacco's framework and its compliance status with the tax authority. How we addressed the matter, a tax health check was conducted on the various tax aids to ensure compliance with the existing tax laws. There is a need for tax provision in relation to excise duty. And the last key audit matter, that is tax trade receivable. Included in trade receivable is an amount of 1.2 million, being a suspense account as shown on note 11 to 14. The genesis of this figure arises from historic weak internal control and front-end activities. This matter is most significant in our audit due to materiality of the amount involved and the risk of potential loss. There is a forensic investigation going on to establish the root cause of the matter. And how we handled this matter, we had a discussion with management and those charged with governance to understand the origin of the balances and the status of the ongoing forensic investigation. We challenged the management to speed up the investigation and put correct measures in order to avoid future occurrences of the same. Now, I would like now to read the responsibility of the directors for the financial statement. So the directors are responsible for preparation of financial statements that give a true and fair view in accordance with the International Financial Reporting Standard and the requirement of the Sacco Society Act number 14 of 2008. And for such internal controls as the directors determine is necessary to enable the preparation of financial statements that are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error. In preparing the financial statement, the directors are responsible for assessing the society's ability to continue as a going concern, disclosing as applicable matters related to going concern and using the going concern basis of accounting unless the director either intend to liquidate the society or cease operation or has no realistic alternatives but to do so. So I'll read the last paragraph of the audit report, report on other legal and regulation requirements. The Kenya Society Act of 2008 required that we report the following matter to Sacco societies regulated authorities. We reported that we have obtained all information and explanation which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were considered necessary for the purpose of audit. We are not aware of any irregularities or illegal acts that have been committed by directors, employees, or the Sacco society itself, and we have no grounds to believe the Sacco society is insolvent, or that there is a risk, or that there is a significant risk that it may become insolvent. This financial statement for the year 2025 were signed by CPA Robert Kamara, practice number, certificate number 1873. Those were the financial statement, and thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, CP Anthony. Members, you know that the auditors summarized the financials, but each of us has the full report that was sent to us with the invitation. So I would encourage you, if you've not gone through the entire report, just read it through, including all those notes, so that you can get to understand them better. So I will now seek adoption of the same. And then after that, let us get queries or any clarifications that the body and management can clarify.
Yes, we need to adopt the report. We need a proposal and a seconder for that. Are the online guys now okay? So maybe we can get someone from online. Anyone? Okay, I think you can still get one from the floor. Let's get a proposer. Let's get a proposal. We need to adopt those financials first. Sioni mkono, hatutaelewa ama uko aje? Let's get a proposal, kindly members. Okay. Uko. Kindly give us your name plus your member number.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Mambo vipi?
Poa sana.
Mbona mko hivyo?
Ndo nashangaa.
So I propose. My name is Esther Kibungi. Number 1081. I propose.
Thank you, Esther. We need a seconder for that. Unajua macho yangu ni kidogo, so huko mwisho haifiki. Uzee inafika lakini tunakataa. Okay. Mzuri sana.
My name is Amir Mutahi. Member number 6013. I second.
Thank you, Mutai. So now I think we can get reactions, clarification, queries for that particular report. I think the same was shared on emails, WhatsApp, walls. So I think we can, the floor is open. Let's react to that particular report. Ni mkono unainua ama? Okay. So let's get reactions. Ama iko report iko sawa? Hey. Okay. So I think that is closed. Callistus, I thought the chair gave you some duties. Is it sabotage? No, okay, on a later note. Okay, so I think we can proceed to the next agenda of the day. And I think it's still uh, 2025. So Mark Karibu, you take us through that particular agenda.
The last part of the profit and loss statement that the auditor read was the appropriations. That's what it is required that before those appropriations are effected, members need to approve. So I'm here to make a proposal for which you approve or guide otherwise. 2.1 is a proposal to pay interest on members' deposits at a rate of 7%, as has been disclosed by the financials. Members, give us that approval or any guidance. Last year we paid 7%. This year it's still 7%. No change.
I think we said that it will increase. I don't know, maybe you can. I was here in the meeting, but we agreed it should improve basically. But again, maybe with justifications, we can see what to do.
Thank you. Yes, indeed, we were promising a higher figure in the budget last year, about 9%. But remember that was based also on the performance for the year. And as the chairman said, all our income comes from us. From the loans that members are borrowing. And we've been regretting all through that we are not taking loans. And that is why we are getting ourselves with the surplus money. Enye tu tunaenda sasa kuweka ndiana hata kitu ili itaani, sio? So again, remember it was saying that we missed target on loans. Na tukimiss hiyo target ya loans, tutamiss hata ya, you know, hiyo ndio ng'ombe ile inatoa maziwa. Kang'ombe kakikosa kufindiwa mzuri, sijioni kama maziwa katapungua. That is what happened because we did not meet our loan targets. Na hiyo si ati hatukukuwa na pesa, ni nyinyi mlikataa kuchukua pesa. So we are not able to give the 9% that we promised because interest income did not come in through. So Gerard?
Last year was the performance same? Was the loan same last year compared to this year? Loans we had given, so that we can say now it's 7%. The loan we gave last year was same amount and same interest and all that. So that we say now it's the same 7% you had last year because the loans disbursed last year same and paid and all that is same this year basically. And also just to add, I'm not sure, but do we have other investments or we already rely on loans?
We've just gone through the accounts. Na tumeona hakuna pesa ilibaki kama iko idle yenye haikuani. Ile yenye ikuchukuliwa yote tuliweka kwa money market, sio? But then in money market, remember it's earning 8-9%. If it's in loan, it will earn a minimum of 12% because our loans are 12% and others at 15%. That is where the difference is. In terms of whether loan was equal, previous year, our loan was stood at 115 and now it's 118. Slightly increased. But remember, hiyo ni balance as at the 31st December. Loan ile imean interest within the year. You know, if for example, even if we get 10 million in December, that will contribute to interest this year. Another thing, remember what we are sharing is the surplus. That income less the expenses. Slight increase in income, and you've seen that in the accounts. Alafu expenses, kuna zile expenses zenye hata kama uja make income lazima ungeinka. zinaitwa fixed cost. Hatutakataa kulipa our staff because hiyo ni contracted, whether income is made or not. Okay, ndio unaona ukiangalia kwa our profit and loss, umeona income ime increase by about 3 million, but expense pia ime increase, si ndio? Ndio unaona net income ime remain about the same. Hiyo ndio sababu. Are we okay, Jared?
But I think we need to do more so that we get value for the money we are putting in. I know guys may not be taking loans, so they should be enticed for them to take loans basically. So we should do more, because I was preparing for the 9%, but now it has reduced by 2. So it's it's not encouraging to me.
And it all depends on us again, and that was CEO's appeal. Amesema tuchukue pesa. Like now the current product that is a flagship for now, the one of kina Njuguna Kamau, asset finance. You know, that's at a higher rate than the 12%. So if we get more members to take that, we run at 15% and other rates, but then our expenses will not increase. So we might even get similar loan, halafu unakuta interest yetu hapa income imekuwa kubwa na tulipe hata 10%. So the secret is in the borrowing. Sasa kusatu tukiacha pesa hapo sababu ziko, tutakuwa tu tukilia tu baadaye, because we are not feeding our cow well. Sio? Thank you, Jared. Jared is satisfied. And I'm taking it to mean that he has proposed. So can you give us your number?
I just want to stress, let's do more, especially the board and the officials. Let's do more for the members. Even if you need the product people to at least see on how to at least design these products to be able to, for these loans to be able to, guys would be able to take loans. I think I also need money. It's not that I have a loan, but I still need money. But if the product is not appealing to me, I may not take that loan, because we have so many areas we can take a loan. So if the products are not appealing, basically, I may not take that loan. So I just ask the guys who are responsible to do more, so that when they take their, it's called honorary, we may not question that, because at least they've done some work. But now if you take 9, take it back to 7, I don't know what you're now promising for for this year, basically. But I propose. Thank you.
Remarks taken, Jared. Let's get
another Jared.
another Jared. Ashuma Akala.
Yes. While I second, it is upon the Sacco. While you encourage us, while you coerce us to take loans, we also coerce you to come up with strategies of better incentives of your loans. Because now, give me a minute. For example, you are campaigning for more members. Not many members are coming in corporate manner. Many members are coming individually. So when members come individually, it will take more time for people to network, because we meet twice a year. And initially, the Sacco had more members from Housing Finance Bank. Now it is the Sacco is moving international. But however, come up with better incentives so that all loans, as Jared says, we should be have loan friendly, there's that English word. Thank you. As I second number 7059.
Thank you, Jared. That's a fair challenge to the board and to management, and it will be put into consideration. So thank you very much. The second proposal we have is dividend. Is to pay dividend on share capital at the rate of 8%. So you know that your investment in the Sacco is twofold, the share capital and the deposits. What we've just concluded, 7% is on deposits. On your share capital, we propose to pay 8%. Who proposes?
Nyumba. Oh, come. 250. Query. Lakini other query.
Samoya, I propose the 8%. I've been in the board and I know that they do their best to raise as much for the benefit of the members.
No. Thank you, Esther. Let's have a seconder. Seconder to that so that we close. Yeah. What's up? Hey, MC hebu niti hawa watu. I think hawataki mwalimu wa hesabu.
So let's get someone from online to second. I'm hoping they are following the proceedings. Kuna mtu online anaweza
Hi everyone.
ama maybe kuna some okay. For the purposes of recording, I think allow me to confirm. So there's one saying, my name is David Jogu, live from diaspora. I support. So we really need to get the number for David Jogu. I don't know whether CEO you can get that number. Or maybe David Jogu, you can type your member number for recording purposes. So I think there are some reactions on the Zoom portal. Okay, I think this doesn't relate to what is being discussed here. So for recording purposes, I think the matter has been proposed and seconded. David Jogu, member number is 10360. Is there a number like that? Oh, 1360. He has typed 10360, but if it's 1360, I think that can be taken for recording purposes. So over to the treasurer for the next agenda.
Yes, so thank you, members, for approving that disposal of surplus. And I trust now chairman's promise. I know you will not take it back. It was real. So I don't need to ask him to confirm. So I think payment is PAP. Your account now has money. Thank you very much. So our next agenda is the budget for the year 2026. Because what we've just gone through is what we've achieved in 2025. We now need to tell you what we projected that the Sacco will do the coming year for your approval. So, and it's on the screen. So our budget, remember again, it's driven by membership. We propose to have 208 members. Additional during the year to make it 829 from the 621 that you saw in the accounts. And in each of the numbers that we present here, there are strategies around it, which we will not go through, but it's a promise that is being made by management and the board to you. Share capital from the current 46 just growth by 1 million because out of the 208 members, we propose that 100 members will be issued with the new capital. That's 1 million. The other 108 will buy from existing members who have offered theirs for sale. Loans, 65 million growth. That's based on, we are projecting to disburse 120 million during the year. That is close to 10 million every month. And then repayments that have been projected during the year, about 55. So 118 plus 120 minus 55 gives you the 186, the number that will make in the year. Coming to the P&L, our income, interest on loans from 12.3 tutapanda tufike 17.1, na hiyo sio namba ya kuota, ni hiyo loan yenye tumeproject multiplied by the interest rates for each of the products to give us that number. Then other interest income, this is, you see, it's coming down because ours is in deliberate actions that we don't want money here because this other interest income is the one that is earned by other investments. Ile tunapea serikali, ile chama alisema tusipee serikali and other places, money market and the like. Tunataka pesa mingi kwe kwa loan. So it's declining to 16% because we project to have less money there. So our total interest income will be 33.7. That 3.7 years. Then interest expense. Interest expense 13.03. Do I tell you what this is? It is sand we are proposing still 7% that will pay to the members on the deposits, totaling to 13.0. We'll have to live with this reality because we can only share what we've been able to make. So interest expense on members' deposits 13.0, but borrowing we won't pay anything because we are not proposing to borrow any money from the banks. Administrative expenses from 3.5 will go to 3.7, just a slight increase. These are all those expenses that enable the business to operate, which includes subscriptions, Sasasira, ICT expenses, software maintenance, professional fees, those are outsourced contracts, compliance expenses, licenses, and all that, normal administration, office administration, printing and stationery, communications, repairs and maintenance, electricity, and all that. That's our 3.7, very conservative from the 3.5. Depreciation and amortization, this the depreciation that will allow on our equipment and the amortization on our office space. So marketing expenses, we said again to achieve all that we projected. Their marketing activities that have been signed that will be done by management, and those are the ones that will cost that much, which includes those forums that Jogona was talking about, other sales events, breakfast forums, SMS campaigns, and all those marketing activities. Personnel expenses, these are all the costs that will be incurred on staff, the salaries, wages, statutory deductions, statutories that are paid by the employer, the housing levy, NSSF. Apart from what is deducted from the salary, there is what the employer will pay, then gratuity and medical for our staff. So these are actuals based on the contracts that we have with the staff. So governance expenses, these are the expenses including committee allowances, AGM like this one that we have, education day for the members. Yes. Then the other small figures like that bond amortization, those bonds that we bought at a premium. Unalipo unaongezea kitu. We don't take the entire of that money in that year of purchase. We spread it over the years of that bond. So our total expenditure will be 16.5 million. So if you take 16.5 minus the net interest income, 20.6 million, plus other incomes, 4.3 million, less these expenses, 16.5 million, you get our surplus, 8.5, less the tax that is computed using the taxation rules on those budgeted the numbers, 1.5. So net after tax, again, income will be 6.9. which will be appropriate and as follows. Transfer to statutory reserves, that's mandatory, 20%. Then the dividends, 3.7, and honoraria, which is a standing rule of 13.5% of the interest paid to members, 1.7. That will be our budget. So maybe we can show the brief on capex that we are budgeting for the year. Michael. Yes, the proposed capital expenditure is actually, if you look at the 2025 budget, it was there, but we did not manage to spend because we did not actualize this. So we have to have it in the budget now, and it's basically IST expenses. The main one being that system upgrade, the 2 million. Remember, the current innovation version will not be supported going forward, and we need to upgrade to the higher version. That's the one, the market price. We already have quotations, and that's how we've come up with that 2 billion. And then these other things, IT guys wanaelewa hizi, all these vitu tunaendanisha tuna that upgrade, and it was there in 2005. Because it was not spent, we are proposing you also approve it as a part of the budget again. Thank you so much. We'll seek approval for that budget or reactions on it. Yes. Sababu ni yenu sio yetu. Si ndio?
More reactions? Naona kumbe si mimi peke yangu, hesabu ilisumbua. More reactions?
Maybe just one item. I'm wondering which server is 100,000. Like I think that is a bit. It's a cheap. It's a little bit cheaper server. I'm not sure whether are they PCs or servers. 100,000. 2 servers, 100,000. Okay, I don't know. Maybe they are. Okay, I don't know. Are they PCs or what? Maybe. Okay, okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, okay.
Maybe just to also respond to Jared, the size of our organization is not yet such that we can purchase what you know as a server. So today we purchase just higher capability PCs, and then we use those as servers because our budget does not allow us to serve.
Thanks, Jared. More reactions? More reactions? hii meza ya Akala ilikuwa full, guys left. I know it's one of the toughest session. More reactions? Ah,
Just yeah, a reaction. I'm just wondering, in the expenses for the staff, are we taking into account some sort of incentive to they've been loyal this far, as we said. I think someone mentioned there was no increment last year, and I'm just wondering, as a sort of incentive to them to continue outperforming themselves, maybe also they can be considered in this new budget.
thank you. Name and member number.
Veronica 3102.
3102.
Yeah, I mentioned that in my speech. If you look at that number for staff costs, it's actually going up 31%, but it's linked to the loan number being met. So if the loan number is met and we're able to achieve our interest income target, then that number will go up, but it's significantly higher in terms of the proportion we've put into account for this year's incentive program. Thanks.
Thank you, Chair. Akala.
Again to the staff. You say that they work for 3 years. How many times can they renew? Can they renew as many times as they can until they become kukas and shoshos? Or the renewing term is limited to a certain times of renewal?
Thank you, Akala. Take it.
Okay, so Jared, that's a good question. You know, we are coming from somewhere. We had a history somewhere. If you remember, one of the times we used to operate this circle with 2 people, and the first time we got 5 people, we almost got a lynching because our staff costs went up materially. But it was part of the cost of professionalizing the circle. Then we said, let's start with 3-year contracts first because we need to understand the direction of the regulation. Actually, when Sasra first came and we had a workshop with Mark, they told us you will not be able to pay the dividends you have been paying because the costs of compliance takes out 2% of that amount. So we needed to be careful around putting people on permanent and pensionable terms, which requires us to commit as a circle a certain form of pension ourselves in addition to, because the moment you start deducting the staff for their own contribution, the first thing they ask for is you need to bring my pay up to the level it was. Otherwise, I'm taking home less. But it's an area that we will continuously look at. The strategic pillars that we talked about, the first one was member recruitment and member incentive. So we want to get members to a level where you are comfortable. The next pillar speaks to employees, actually. So there's an employee component, and then we get into the financial component. So it's an area of focus, but we are aware. We will do something there.
Thanks, Chair. More? Maybe get one last reaction. So thank you so much for, I saw so many of you are very attentive. Veronica, Julie, Rose here, Akala, and Esther huko nyuma, wale wa back office. We appreciate. Probably now we ask for the proposer and a seconder. Because for me, ranging from audited books of accounts, budgets, and disposal for surplus defines resilience, innovation, and progress, looking from where we are coming from. Uh, the CEO has very lean staff, and looking at the asset book, he really tries to showcase the results that we are seeing. And when you talk of resilience, that is it. Innovation, you have 14 products which you guys are supposed to support, taking loans and all that. Akala hapa alisema we have to have strategies to entice you. We take that very positively. So please, let's have a proposal. Si mfanye vile mlifanya. Mliambiwa pesa inaingia kwa account. Yes, my friend.
Hello, Samson Gishia. I propose and I also request that we don't move those items to next year. Can we have them be implemented as soon as possible? Because I was actually very confused when I saw them here. I was wondering how many times are we buying servers? Okay, I propose 1751.
Thank you, Samson. 1751. Asante sana. Seconder. Patrick Masharia. Patrick Chege Masharia. Can call you with 3 names because I know you are a very old member.
Good afternoon, Patrick Masharia, 1160. I second.
Thank you, Patrick Masharia, 1160. If you allow me, I think we close that session of Maesabu. We move to probably a more interesting session, which is election. But before that, I will invite Philip Omondi. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yes.
Good. Thank you. We're interrupting to see the next item was for the appointment of the auditors. But I'm here to tell you that remember in 2024, when we appointed Mwangi Kamwara Associates, we appointed them for 3 terms. No? They have done now 2 terms. They have another 1 term. So we'll be discussing that thing and appointing other auditors in the next AGM. Thank you very much. We are being guided by the officer that even with the running contract, we need to formally appoint them every year. So let's have a proposer and a seconder so that we have them for this final year. Proposer, please. Mr. Mwanik.
I propose 6034.
Thank you. Seconder.
I second Kamau Juguna 3526.
Asante sana members. And thank you, Officer Jogona for that.
Honorable Secretary, confirm we are on course. Thank you. I know we are moving to the next agenda, which is elections, but before that, was a request of from Nyumba Housing. Philip Omondi wanted to have some comments on that for members. Philip, please.
So if you recall, Monique had made a request for registration Just see. So what we've done, we've just very quickly created a QR code to make registration easy, not new members, old. Are we together? The existing members as guided by Monique. Haijakuja bado. So I'll just leave the QR code up on the screen, and then as we prosecute the other matters. Haiyazingia. So it's simple. You just use your phone camera. For Callistas, najua uko na iPhone, so yako haitakuwa ngumu. So as we wait for the QR code to come up, I'll just give back the microphone to the MC so that we can move it to the others. Thank you.
Thank you, Philip. Tusimame kidogo. I know since you ate, hamjasimama. Just stand up. Just stand up. Simama tu. As you stand, you stretch kidogo. It's very healthy. Stretch, 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 stretch. Kuna mambo nitasema. When I say, you do the opposite. If I say jump down, you jump up. Say face left, face right. If I say something you can't do, you say the opposite. If I say a boy, say a girl. Yeah. If I say God, or if sawa, it's an exercise. Sisi wote ni watu wa Mungu. Sasa mnashtuka nini? What's the problem with you? Aya. Jump up, up, jump down, face left, right, left, water. What is the opposite of water? Eh? Ati uji. Kindly sit down, sit down, sit down so that we progress. Tunasema majenzi wanasema wakoka. Naona kuna majenzi hapa. I thought we have youth leaders. Eh? Kama mimi. Kuna youth leader ndio huyo. So kama uko kadi kaa rada, but at this juncture I call upon Honorable Secretary Freedom Charo to read the notice. Rita. Karibu sana.
Thank you. Good evening, members, once again. So I'd like to read the notice for the board members retiring by rotation. On the 27th of November, we sent out this circulation, and it reads, Dear Honorable Members, board members retiring by rotation in 2025. So pursuant to Nyumba Sacco bylaw number 14, clause D, members of the board shall be elected for a 3-year term subject to 1/3 retiring annually on rotation, but eligible for re-election unless otherwise decided by the general meeting. We hereby notify you that the following board members are retiring by rotation and have expressed interest in being re-elected. Peter Mogeni Odwori, our board chairman. Mark Gishuru Kenyuru, Treasurer and Chairman, Finance and Administration Committee. Frida Mahuva Bongosa Mcharo, Honorable Secretary and Secretary, Finance and Administration Committee. And Fiona Akinyi Ondu, Chairperson, Supervisory Committee. I will request them to just stand up so that you see who they are, including myself. I am already standing. So these are retiring by rotation and have expressed interest in being re-elected. Then we have a member or a board member who resigned and did not express interest in being re-elected, and that is Esther Wamboe Muya, the chairperson credit and risk committee. I know Esther is around, so I'll just request Esther to stand. Esther is standing at the back there. So this is by order of the board committee, Frida Mcharo, Honorable Secretary. And at this point, I then hand over to Mr. Njoroge, sorry, to proceed from here.
Hamjaboni. Sijui kwa nini wamehama. They are not yet vacant because I am the one with the powers to declare them vacant. And I have not done so. Good afternoon, good evening. Yeah, Njoroge Mwagi is my name, Cooperatives Officer. And I'm glad that we are here today for purposes of getting to know the progress of your society, because you own the society and you are the clients and the customers. However, reports has been presented, you have received them, you have seen, is it the growth of the society? Stagnation. But this is your society, you are the owners and the customers. And this is where now, as I was going through the financials of your society, you have met most of the ratios. They are good, and more so they are far much more than the expectation. But there is one key ratio. However much there are some few of them, like the PAR, it's a bit high with around 1%. It's supposed to be not more than 5%, but you are at 6% defaulters. I hope they are not here. Were they invited? They should not be invited because they are coming only to increase the cost to the society. However, the one that I have a keen interest on is the gross loans to total assets. It's supposed to be between 70 to 80% gross loans to total assets, but it's at 39.6, around 40%. And that means, as the reports were indicating, members were not taking loans, have not been taking loans as expected. This being a Sacco, it is where members save and you take loans, not to invest elsewhere. Investing elsewhere should be after members have taken loans. However, they have done so. Members have not been taking loans to the expectation because that ratio means that loans are far much below the expectation. And that is why you can be able to see from the statement of financial position. Loans to members at the end of the year was at 112 million. However, the board have been investing elsewhere, over 131 million. And this is what members will be taking in form of loans. Sijui kama mikopo mnapata kwingine, wanakataa kuchukua hapa. So members, you know, this is the only time that you are productive, because one day, one time you retire. And after retirement, maybe the privileges that you have, and more so the pay slip, those who have a pay slip. This is the time that you make proper use of that pay slip. Because after retirement, it will not be there. Ama utaendelea kuwa na pay slip, utakuwa na zile mzee, not the current one. So it's high time that you make use of it so that you can be able to develop yourself in terms of investment. This is where money is waiting for you. Think of any amount as long as you qualify. Or I don't know whether, because I always consider that where the society is over liquid, there must be a challenge somewhere. And where the society has a loan backlog, there must be a challenge somewhere. Yours is that you are over liquid. And that is why over 131 has been invested elsewhere. I don't believe that members have requested for loans na wakaambiwa pesa hakuna. Chair. Msiwaambie ati pesa tulipeleka wapi. Pesa ziko. And that is why investment in cooperative should not be in such a way that they cannot recall that money. But it seems because even at the bank, you had 16.2 million by the close of the year. So that's a lot. And this is where you need to think about your future as an individual. Usiangalie wengine. However much maybe you're working in a financial institution where maybe there are loans zile mnaweza pata pengine, but still consider your society. The interest rate, I believe it's 1% per month. Ama hiyo ni 1 point what? 1% per month on a reducing balance. That translates to approximately 6.7%. It's not 12%. So when you make your comparatives in terms of where to take loans, this should be the first stopover. Unless if the employer has a better rate than less than the 6% per annum. That's when you can be able to consider. But for a cooperative interest rate at a reducing balance, 1%, 6.7% per annum. So this is where you should be able to come because this is your financial institution. So that you can be able to reduce those investments outside the society. I don't know whether you had invested in Cusco. Unajua wakati society kuna pesa mingi inatafuta where to invest. So that is where you find societies had invested so much in an institution. That is where diversification is very important to ensure that in case one institution falls, you are not affected. So you have societies that were affected. They had invested more than half of the total assets of their society in one institution. And this is where now SASRA is now telling them, you never did a due diligence when you're investing in that institution. It's about diversification. So that just in case of anything, because if you check 131, however much where you have invested is in government boards, but a half of your total assets, it's almost there, outside there. Because at 298 million, 131 is invested. So members, it's about taking loans. Think about what you can be able to do, the investments you can be able to make. As an individual, usiangalie wengine. Because for you to grow financially, you have to make proper use of other people's money. You cannot grow with your own finances. And that is why loans are issued at a multiplier. Times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5. Ni mko times? Times 10. Where? Ile nimesikia mingi ni times 5. Muko times 10. All it's because members are not taking loans. And that is how now the leadership is trying to mop up the entire 131 million. If you come at that times 10, you'll be able to, and also maybe the returns. Hii 7%, mmesema ni kama mmekuamilia hapo. Last year ilikuwa 7%. This year ni treasurer bado wamesema itakuwa hivyo. It's members who can be able to change that. However, the performance you buy a 7%, because I was in another society, they gave 6%, and their total assets is over $1 billion. So how wako bere in terms of total assets? Nyinyi mko not, you are at 298 million. They are over $1 billion, but they gave 6%. But still, I was in another one that their total assets is around 80 million, but they gave over 12% interest on deposit. It's all about how members take loans. Society ni kidogo, but members take loans. So if members can take loans, then that 7% can increase to 8, 9, 10%. So let's strive to ensure that you take as much as possible so that we increase that rate from 7 to 9. Target 9. So that even if you achieve 8, better. It's better than 7. So with that, Chair, that is the key thing that I found in the statement of financial position and the financials, but there was an appreciation to the leadership. Was it approved? Honoraria? Yes? Yeah, because it's about appreciating the leadership, the work that they did for that financial year, and the proposed honoraria. Is it together with the staff bonus ama wao wako kado? It's for honoraria only. Sawa sawa. So there was that provision in the audit report, an amount of 1.5 million, which it was explained that it's a percentage of the surplus, something like that. A percentage of what members are getting. Ikiongezeka pia hata hiyo inaongezeka. So it's a moving target. So it depends on the performance. So with that, members, as indicated, it's an appreciation to the leadership, the board, and the supervisory committee who are in office for the financial year 2025. And so if members do appreciate their leadership, then we can be able to approve that amount. It's more or less the same as what was there last year. 1.51 to 1.55, a small difference because of what members are getting as interest on deposit. So do you appreciate your leadership? We get a proposer and a seconder. Proposer? Nimeona getting a proposer and a seconder is a task.
I propose.
Hata ya interest on deposit, whatever you are being paid. In other societies, karibu wainue mikono wote. So proposer?
Veronica Maniki, 3102, I propose.
3102 proposes. Seconder? Online?
1057, I propose.
Patrick
I
Mwangi?
second, sorry. Yes, I second.
Two?
1057. Thank you.
Okay, Patrick Mwangi. So that was for Honoralia. So with that, members, that was the only thing I found was not considered. So with that, we can go to the agenda that was elections. Because masaa naona imeenda. As was indicated by the secretary, that every other of committee members do retire, though they are eligible for re-election. And it was indicated those who are retiring, the three, the chair, secretary, honorary secretary, and the treasurer. They are the ones who are retiring this year. And in the supervisory committee, we had Fiona Akinyi. So those are the four positions who are retiring today, and therefore I will declare the four positions vacant. So for now, we have the three in the board and one in the supervisory committee. However, there was that other information that was related to members, that we have one board member, Esther Wambui, resigned from the board, but still a member of the society. So when did she resign? On 5th August 2020. Okay. So it therefore implies that we have a vacant position where Esther resigned last year. So it is not that she have resigned now. I resigned last year. And so with that, as was indicated that as per the provisions of the society's bylaws and elections policy, we have a nominations committee that when the notice was issued, applicants were able to apply for those positions. And the nominations committee met and went through those applications to confirm whether they meet those requirements. Those who did not meet were not cleared. Those who met were cleared to vie for the positions. And therefore, with that, members, for the positions in the management or the board of directors, we were able to receive or to clear 4 applicants. And those are the ones that will be presented to you for the positions in the board. Remember, there are 4 positions, but the applicants were 4. For the supervisory committee, we were able to clear 2 out of the applications that we received. So there were more than the 2, but we cleared the 2 to to vie for the one position in the supervisory committee. And therefore, I'm referring to them as applicants because they applied. But you want to ensure that first they become candidates. And so with that, I will be presenting to you the 4 applicants so that first they can be candidates before we consider the issue of elections. So the first applicant is Peter Mugeni Oduori. Naweza simama. So we need to get a proposer and a seconder for Peter so that he can be a candidate. Proposer? Yes? Yeah.
Daniel Mwaniki Jogo, 6034. I propose.
Daniel Mwaniki. Seconder?
Stella Gasheri, member number 7012.
Stella Gasheri. As long as you are a member, I believe you are all members. Hakuna yule kuja kutembea. Sawa sawa. So ni mimi tu mgeni. So now Peter is a candidate. You can take your seat. Mark Yeshuru Kenyuru also applied. We want a proposer and a seconder for him to be a candidate. Proposer.
Esther Moya, member number 1441, I propose.
Sylvanus Masika, 1766, I second. 1766.
Okay, so for Mark, tumepata proposer, that is Esther, and seconder is Sylvanus, and therefore Mark is a candidate. Number 3, I have Frida Magua Mcharo. So we need a proposer and a seconder for Frida. Proposer.
Patrick Masharia, member number 1160, I propose.
Seconder.
Jared seconded, 3377.
3377. So now Frida is a candidate. Number 4, I have Rose Nyambura Mwangi. Ako hapa. Proposer for Rose Nyambura.
I, Lynette Chaka, I propose. A member 349.
Lynette Chaka. Seconder.
George Maina, member 7166.
Okay, so the 4 now are candidates. And the positions are 4. But there is a difference in those 4 positions. 3 are for retiring. 1 is for the vacant position that was left by Esther. Now that there are no elections, I'll first consider that the 4 are elected and opposed to serve in the board, 3 for a term of 3 years, and 1 for the remaining term for Esther. Esther was to retire, not this year, but either next year or the year after. So one of them out of the 4 will be filling that vacant position that Esther left, and therefore will be serving the remaining part of the term. Mwaka moja ama miaka miwili, depending on when Esther was to retire. Sawa sawa. So that was the clarification I wanted to make so that hata kama Esther alikuwa na retire next year, mkiona mmoja akiletwa tena next year mseme ameonewa. It's because it's like a by-election. You serve the remaining term. So for the board, we don't have elections, and therefore we consider that done. We go to the supervisory committee, where we had Fiona retiring, but eligible for re-election, and therefore the applications that we received were cleared were 2. That is Patrick Chege Masharia and Fiona Akinyi Odu. So let's get approved. Where are they? I have Fiona there. So for Fiona, Let's get a proposer for Fiona. Yes. Gina. Wilson. Oh, yeah. 1738. Seconder for Fiona.
Samson Geshia, 1751.
Samson Geshia. Okay, then may I also make another clarification that we are in the supervisory committee, and the supervisory committee are meant to supervise the work of the board. And so it is members who are supposed to elect members of the supervisory committee. Proposing and seconding should be from the members. The board should abstain because remember they are coming to supervise them. And therefore they should not make a decision who should supervise them. It is members because it is on behalf of members that they come to check what the board is doing. So I request that the board to abstain from proposing, seconding, and even voting so that members perform that duty. So for Fiona, amepata proposal na second and therefore is a candidate. So we can have now Patrick Chege Macharia. Ako hapo. So we need to get a proposer and a seconder for Patrick. Proposer.
Ernest Oduor Tieno online.
1221. That is the membership number.
Kathleen Murungi,
Okay, so
1221.
Nkatha Mulyongi. Then let's get a seconder for Patrick.
Ernest Oduor Tieno,
Seconder
member
for Patrick.
3387.
Online, physically here.
I am online.
Seconder from the floor.
Lynette Chaka, 3413 seconder.
Lynette Chaka. Sawa sawa, that's okay. So Patrick Masharia now have a proposal and a second, and therefore is a candidate. Now that we have two candidates and the position is one, it therefore means we need to make a decision on who gets the highest votes between Fiona and Patrick. So it therefore means now each member needs to make a decision by way of voting. We have those who are online and we have those who are physically here. The plans on how they'll be able to vote. Yes? They leave the room. First, I wanted to understand how we are voting. Is it we have those who are online and those who are here? So how do those who are online, how will they vote? They type. Because typing, typing, I may type mara mingi. Ni type mara kwanza, nitume mara ya pili, ya tatu. Yeah, if we can. So who can be able to create that poll? Then for those who are here, are we all voting on that Zoom or is it only those who are online? How about those who are here? How sure are we that we don't have some of those who are here online and they are here physically here? We may not be sure. Anaweza vote here na mkono yake, then online pia arushe ingine. What measures
You
can you be
use the
able
member
to
number. Use
have?
the member number.
Is it possible everyone to vote online? Is it possible? How many are online? Ni wangapi wako online? 21. Can we be able to see them in a screen? Can they be seen on the screen? Yeah, on the screen you can see, you can be able to know. Because if they can raise their electronic hand, na wale wako hapa wainue mikono yao, to avoid where you are only, ama unaweza kuwa pia hapa uinue mkono pia kwa. I'm trying to find a solution. Which way do we go? Create a poll. Haya, malizeni hiyo poll ndio tumalizie. Inaendelea kutengenezwa. Sawa sawa. So we expect only the 21 to vote. For those who are here, they can vote by show of hands. Ama mumeamua aje? Eh? Show of hands hapa na online wapatumie the poll. Sawa sawa. So wacha iishe ndio wakifanya yao na sisi tumalize yetu hapa. It will be within 5 minutes. Tutakuwa tumemaliza. Members, let's come back to the activity. Technical team wamesema imekuwa na shida kutengeneza hiyo poll. So, to get a solution, as I had indicated, because they are only 21, I believe they can be able to raise their electronic cards there because there are only 2 candidates. If we start with the first candidate kama ni Fiona, those who are voting for Fiona, they raise, and those who are here, we also count. Then those who are online, they drop. We go to the next candidate, that is Patrick. Then they raise their hand, those who are voting for Patrick, and those who are here, we also count. Then we finalize. That's okay. We need to count. Kwa sababu nimezoea. Sitashindwa vile nitahesabu. They have managed. Okay. Yeah, if you have managed, it's okay. For here, they said, for here we use hands. As long as the online haitakuwa more than that number, because they are 21, confirm, they are 21. Because tukipata 22, itakuwa na shida.
So online we are having 20 participants. Let me see the name so that we can get the exact figure. Yes. Yes. I want to see the participants. One is the machine that we are using, this laptop. Are you together? Then there is Peter Mukenga. Ako hapa? Mukenga ayuko? Good. There is Brenda Kangara. That is a member of the supervisory committee. We can confirm ayuko. There is Emily Kabuthia. Ako hapa, so huyo hata vote. Eric Kipto Kosgei. Kosgei ako hapa? Ayuko sindo? There is Ernest Otieno.
I'm here.
Ayuko?
I'm here. I'm here.
Kuna James Maina. James Maina anajulikana? Okay, silence ni kama hayuko hapa. Jennifer ametumia jina moja, so itabidi apeane jina ya pili. Jennifer Kiango ako hapa? Okay, good. Joyce Wangu, at least yon sijamuona. Lilian Kariuki hayuko pia. Martin Gathua anajulikana? Martin Gathua anajulikana? Okay. Mary Kimemia, at least hayuko hapa. This is a guy using Motorola Moto J Stylus. Huyo sasa ni ngumu kujua. So hivyo vote yake I think tutaweka kando. Patrick Ngumi I think hayuko hapa. Ama Patrick Ngumi yuko? Hayuko, si ndio? Nkatha Murungi hayuko. Peter okay, Peter
Excuse me, we are here. We are here. It's only that we are not audible.
Kuna Steven Kivuva.
We are here. We are here.
There's a kindly secretariat. Let's get a reaction first.
Was Nkatha around?
He proposed online.
I'm here.
She proposed online. Okay.
Yes,
so the
I
last
did.
person
I'm
is
here.
Noah Meisha. Peter Mukenga kwani ako mara mbili? Okay. Peter Mukenga ako only once. So tuko na 18 minus minus Zoom user. Is a person anajita Zoom user. So that one I think will not vote. Hata Motorola. Sindo, unless maybe the person using Motorola, yeah, but he need to rename the gadget. I don't know, but you can still guide. So tunakuwa na watu wangapi? 18 minus 3, 15 online. Emily chomoa Emily, exit Emily hapa. She's also a member.
Staff are voting. Staff members are not voting. Staff and board members, they are not voting. So ni wangapi? 14. Sawa sawa. So I hope they can hear me. So that now we can start. In 5 minutes, we should be through. So we'll be starting with candidate number 1. We have Fiona. Fiona, see, already you have made your decision, members, between Fiona and Patrick. So for those who are online, the link ilitengenezeka. Oh, so for those who are online, you can vote. Online, the link is there. So you can vote as we conclude on those who are physically here. So with that, we give. Mnataka waongee? You know, during elections, campaigns, pengine wakisema jina anakuaga wapi, let's give them the opportunity. Mtu asiseme nilikataa, so pengine kura ndio zikakuwa kidogo. So Fiona na Patrick, before watoke, wacha waseme kitu, lakini sio campaign, ni kuwajua tu, si ndio? Sawa sawa.
OC campaign. Good evening once again. My name is Fiona Ondu. I've been up for re-election at Supervisory Committee, and I'm asking for a second chance to continue serving. Thank you. I'm being told to say where I work. I work at HFC, TRM branch, the branch manager. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Patrick Masharia, and how much time do I have? Can I use a minute, perhaps? Okay, so I'm member number 1160. I joined this Sacco back in 2009. And one thing that has stood for me through thick and thin is that the survival of this Sacco is basically around the trust. Trust that our savings are safe. Trust that the Sacco makes prudent investments. Number 3, equally important, trust that the members' election into membership, into leadership, do a good job. So the reason why I'm going for this role is basically to ensure that that exactly happens. So I'll be brief. Like said, Patrick Masharia, I serve as the head of mortgage at INM Bank. And whatever outcome, we are happy to be members of Nyumba Sacco. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. So wanaweza enda watembee huko, waangalie kama mvua inakuja. So that now we can be able to vote. Online, I believe they are voting. Okay, so as they vote, let's also vote here. Let's start with Fiona. You are voting only once. Don't vote for the 2. If you vote for the 2, you are as good as you never voted, because you are not assisting in making any decision. So ni kama tu wale hawakukuja mkutano. Sawa sawa. So let's start with Fiona. Those who are voting for Fiona, tupate kura za Fiona. Board and staff members should not be voting. There was another clarification. Supervisory committee can vote because it's one for one amongst them. They want to get someone from the membership so they can vote. So tumehesabu hiyo yake. Let me finish with physical, then we get votes online. So let's go for Patrick Chege. Vote for Patrick Chege Macharia. Online, I hope wamemaliza kuvote. So we can get votes for online. Iko pale kwa laptop. Oh, iko hapa. Walikuwa wangapi? 15. Oh, 14. Yeah, they were 14. So 100% wamevote huko. Sawa sawa. So we are through. So they can come. So that we announce the results. Waambie warudi. Unaweza toa hii. Unaweza itoa sasa. So they are back. So we can be able to announce the results. Kila mmoja amepata kura zake. So Patrick Chege Macharia amepata 39 votes. Makofi kwake. Fiona Akinyi Odu 29 votes. Makofi kwake. So it therefore means that Patrick Chege amepata more votes and therefore joins the supervisory committee. So with that, let's give Fiona atuambie kitu. Na pia Patrick.
Good evening, team. Thank you for the opportunity. And Patrick, congratulations. And I wish you well in your term. Thank you.
So good evening once again. I'll be very brief. Thank you for the opportunity. Probably what I would want to add would be around what we do as a Sacco. And I know this is not about popularity, but basically a responsibility to see the key things that have come out in this meeting. One, to ensure that our savings are still safe. Number two, what came up, and I think that was from Jared, about our return on investment. I think that I'm very passionate about that. And again, as we continue to see that this Sacco grows beyond what it is today. My key responsibility, number one, of course, is financial oversight. Number two, I'm also looking at risk management. And number three, internal controls. Thank you for your audience. Thank you for the vote of confidence, and have a good evening.
So thank you, members, for making that decision. And congratulations to the two, Fiona and Patrick. And I believe that they'll be able to work for you, the board and the supervisory committee. So with that, I'll take it back to the MC. And I believe that members will support the society. The key support that I would like every member to support is by taking loans. That is the only key thing, because pesa ziko, watu wa kuchukua mikopo ndio hakuna. So let's support the society with that. Asanteni.
Thank you so much for that very important session. Leadership is key, and you've spoken. I will just congratulate the new team headed by our chair. Congratulations for clinching the seat back. It's no mean feat. Remain there. Honorable Secretary, you are very important. Well, I saw people screaming for you. So, najua ukikuwa ungekuwa subjected to the vote, it will have been a landslide. Treasurer, Mr. Numbers. So you didn't disappoint. Continue. Congratulations. And we look forward to hear very, very good numbers from you. Rose, the new members, Rose Nyambura, karibu to the fold. I will look forward to your expertise. I know you are an expert. Nakumbuka zile nyakati wewe ndio ulileta. Tulikuwa tunaziita nini madhogodhanio? The SME. The SME. So she brings SME expertise. So Akala, we have new members who will infuse new ideas to the Sacco so that new products come up for members to uptake. Patrick Shege, huyo ni head of mortgages. You've been a nomad from HF, CBA, then NCBA to Coop Bank and SMEC. It means you're gonna skill. So you haven't done any, you are right. And to thank my sister Fiona. Fiona has been very instrumental in supervisory. She's been checking us. So it is you serve, unafika mahali unapeana wengine, si ndio? So Fiona, thank you so much, but we look forward to working with you. Si hata sasa umeenda, you still a member and you still advise us, si ndio? Asante sana. So let's clap for these leaders who have. Thank you so much. They are very, as the cooperative officer say, they are very competitive. Lakini tunasema hivi, when these positions come up, we struggle to get you to apply. Please apply. Show up. Show up. Show up so that sisi tukimaliza wengine wakuje. And that's how the Sacco grows. Sawa sawa. So to the, as per the program, Honorable Sek, kuna kitu nimewacha.
Congratulations. I have a message for you. sent me to. I have a message.
Good evening, members. I'd like to just acknowledge one of our board members who retired. She has been a very long-serving member, Esther. I request that you just stand up. Utusalimie. Do you want to say anything?
Listen, them say,
Come.
them tell you say you can never be the one. God say, make I tell you,
So Esther has served on this board
say now you
for a very long time. And some of the things I have done, even personally, I have done because of the things that Esther has inspired me to do, including financial growth. So Esther.
Congratulations, he has done.
Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to address the members. Thank you so much because you are the same people who made me start on this platform as a board member. And I worked with a great team which is here. Actually, it is not like there was anything wrong with any of the board members. It is my energy levels that went down because I had to combine a very tight schedule of my employer. And so I didn't want to just sit and gain from the Sacco while I'm doing nothing literally. So I decided just to give another person an opportunity to come and serve. So I'm very grateful for this great team. And that's why I'm here just to give you hope that in these guys here, you are going to see the growth of this Sacco. But you also have to play your part by borrowing not from anywhere else, but from Nyumba Sacco. Because I believe our loans are cheaper than the Shylocks and the mobile app loans. So just make sure that once they go digital, instead of borrowing from those other platforms, you borrow from them. And I know that is going to be very, very soon. Then I can always say that up to where I have reached, and even having the confidence to leave employment and be on my own, is as a result of the investments I made using finances from this Sacco. I was a perennial borrower, and I will always continue to do that because I still need to grow despite the fact that I'm out of the office. So what I can say in my 2 years of early retirement, because I retired last year, I left office last year that the 1st December was my last day. I can say that the literary experience I've had out there is that life does not stop at retirement. It continues, and it continues to be more expensive because you have more time to spend than to look for new money. So don't think that by not saving, you are not helping yourself. You will need that money. And even when you finally get it, you will need to really spend sparingly so that you don't get broke. You can get out there with a lot of money, but in a matter of time, you are down, and then people wondering, what are you, where is the money you earned for these years? So let's just be careful and save as much as possible so that we reduce our expenses, because once you subject yourself to a lot of fraud, you are going to live a standard, a life which is above your means. So just control your expenses and live within your means. That's what I can advise each and every member, so that you are able to save as much as possible. So thank you so much, and God bless you.
For full disclosure, Esther forced me to join the Sacco. So, and I've never regretted it. So thank you, Esther, and thank you for your dedicated service.
Asante chairman. Esther, I didn't know that tulikuwa tunakustress hivyo. You joining Gen Z. She's looking young. Ama nyinyi umeona aje? Whatever you are doing, Esther, continue doing it. We pray for you. Then asante, we now move on to Philip is stressing me hapa. Anasema ati si aliwatisha tu. Si ati ukiwa na iPhone ndio uscan. Rudisha. Everyone can scan to register. Lakini bado yangu. So social media for Nyumba Sacco for online yeah. Or tupige picha. Okay. Chairman amesema picha, then you post for not only for Gen Zs, even youth leaders can do it. Now, hakuna AOB. That's what Honorable Secretary is telling me. That we are moving to. Before I do that, simumesikia from Esther. She's been the old member of the Sacco. Hata mimi nikijoin 2004 nilimpata huko, hao ndio walikuwa wanatuambia join Sacco when we joined HF. But we among us, we have the youngest member. Anaitwa Cecilia. Where's Cecilia? Where's Cecilia? Kuja mbele watu wakuone. Najua si labda tulijoin when we were approaching youth leader. Age. But piga makofi akikuja. If you can just say hi to the members. Everything you put your hand go. Youth leaders to continue as we recruit Gen Zs. So.
Hi everyone. My name is Cecilia Wahome. I'm 20 years old. In Nyumba Sacco, I was recruited by my father. Okay, he's not around. He told me Nyumba Sacco is good. Then he told me like, go join, go. Okay, ile pesa kidogo na kupea, at least jaribu, go invest with it. In future, itakam kukusaidia. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Cecilia. Anasema semeni so thank kusema ni aibu. So everything you put your hand we now move to next session, which is a photo session, and this is the order. I will have a photo session for all members of the board, all members, boards and staff, and cooperative officer. Then we will have board members and staff, board alone, staff alone. Then after this, of course, musiende, kuna uji and engagement session, socializing and all that. But before that, I will invite my Kosha Igombo. You know, in education nomination he was harassing me. Alikuwa ananiripoti alichelewa, alikuwa anawatengenezea uji. So Jerusha, karibu.
Good evening, members. So on behalf of all members of Nyumba Sacco, I wish to express our sincere gratitude to everyone who has contributed to the success of this annual general meeting. So before I even go there, I want to thank our chairperson, the board members, the management team, distinguished guests, and fellow members for taking the time to come and have this AGM with us today. First and foremost, again, I want to thank God for granting us good health and an opportunity to gather here today We deeply appreciate the board of directors and management for their steadfast leadership, commitment, and transparency in steering the Sacco towards growth and stability. To our members, thank you for your continued support, your trust, and active participation. Your contributions and engagements are the backbone of this Sacco's success. We also extend our appreciation to our invited guests, our partners, and stakeholders. I'd want to mention them. Our cooperative officer, Mr. Njoroge, United Kenya Club, our hosts, our DJ for today. We really want to thank you for taking time to join us and for your valuable insights and encouragement for today. Special thanks to the organizing committee for the excellent arrangements and smooth coordination of this meeting. As we conclude, let us remain united in purpose and committed to strengthening our Sacco for the benefit of all the members. Thank you all, and may Nyumba Sacco continue to prosper. God bless you. So, like Callistus had said, I know there's a photo session next, but let's not go. We've put adequate budget for the Uji. And again, one of the things that we say, this is the time that we need to socialize together. We need to get to know one another. So don't leave. Take this time to mingle and get as many contacts, because these are the guys that you'd actually need to sign off for your loans. Asanteni sana. Aha. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we come before you this evening. We are thankful, very grateful. Our hearts are full for this time that we've had today. Thank you for the success of this AGM. Thank you for the deliberations that we've had and the decisions that have been made. And thank you for walking this journey with us this far. As we get into 2026, we ask for your guidance, we ask for your favor as Sacco members, and may we meet here again, having met the KPIs and the targets that we have set for 2026. And Father, then we will remember to give you all the praise and all the glory and all the honor. And even as this year goes on, I pray for each and every member of this Sacco. Lord, may you walk with them, may you guide them, and may they be able to make good investments as this year progresses. It is in Jesus' name that we have prayed. Amen.